Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. It's Brentford against West Ham United. Kick-off an hour and 5 minutes away from the G-Tech Community Stadium. Gonzo, how is oneself?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. Thank you very much. Are you excited or are you not asked?
Both.
Oh, cheeky. Oh, that means you like the team.
Does it mean I like the team?
Oh, it does. It does. Yeah. I can read it.
Maybe I don't know the team.
I bet you bloody do. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, good. Well, good. Goody gumdrops, as they say. Nice.
I like the team.
You don't? I could tell.
I like the team.
I'm very mystic. I'm mystic like that.
Well, congratulations. Your crystal ball is working.
Okay, good. Glad to hear it. I paid enough for it.
If you could get that crystal ball out for the bet giveaway, and it can continue working.
I'll see what I can do. I'd probably make up a rude name. I could probably do that, but there you go.
I've got a really good selection for our bet, by the way. I've got two.
Oh, good.
I've got two. So, anyway, official lineups out in 4 minutes' time. It'd be interesting to see how the live chat reacts to it, actually. I think it'll be a mixed bag of reactions. But on Thursday night, when we did our poll, Gonzo, it was the strongest one we've had yet in terms of results, in terms of people liking the lineup. Obviously, it was a little bit forced because no Bono, he had to play Kerr or Zuma.
For sure.
But, people really like the lineup on Thursday, so it'll be interesting to see what...
Yeah, well, it should. It will be dependent on how seriously the fans are taking this match, and I'm assuming by extract and all my mystical powers that David Moyes is prioritising Thursday. So yeah, good stuff.
He was a little coy in the pre-match press conference, though, wasn't he? He was saying we still need more points, and Antonio's fit for Sunday. He was certainly hinting that he was going to go relatively strong.
I'm excited. I've turned off the live chat. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to waffle and talk about bugger all when all I really want to hear about is the team. Excellent.
If you rested 3 players, which 3 players would you rest?
Oh, 3. I'd definitely rest Declan Rice, Antonio. I'd like Bowen. I think Zuma probably should be, but yeah.
Before we answer this question from Frankie, fantastic question. I'll get onto that, and there's a reason I'm liking it as well. Is just want to point you in the direction of 2 things. First of all, our Patreon. If you join up as a mild addict in May and you don't like it, let us know at the end of May, and we'll give you your £5.50 back. But in return for us joining up, you get loads of new videos, additional content. And tomorrow we have a Q&A with a former West Ham player who made history in the Premier League. The guest shall be revealed on Patreon later tonight as we get your questions in for the big man tomorrow. So there's another little clue for you. Also, Julian
Alberkovic
merch. It's definite Alberkovic. Oh, do you know something? I'd love to get him on though. That would be a good guest, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would. Ask him the big question.
Yeah. As you can see along the bottom, we're selling signed Julian Dix merchandise. It's pre-order only though. Shirts, prints, and a book. So if you want something signed by Julian Dix, get it ordered on the store. Go to hammerstrapstore.com/Julian Dix. Links in the description below. Lots of stuff on there to choose from. Gonzo, Frankie said, would there be any repercussions from the Premier League if we field a weaker team? And the reason I bring this up is because when we did our preview, I was reading the comments. A lot of people said, can't do what you two want. We'll get in trouble.
Well, the thing is, I wonder how much trouble other teams get into for doing it. Really, I don't know. One thing I think before there was a little bit of complaint from Arsenal, whether regardless of whether you believe that Declan Rice got a bug and all that stuff, and they turned around halfway up the motorway. Irrespective of that, Arsenal were upset because Arsenal still had really something to play for. Brentford aren't going to be bothered. Brentford would rather face a weakened West Ham team. So I'm not sure you're going to have any complaint from them. At the end of the day, I would hope not. I don't know the answer to your question. I would hope not, though.
I actually think there is a law. Dean says there isn't one. Dean says there's no law saying you can't. It's just unsportsman. I actually think there's a rule. I could be wrong.
I thought there's a rule, yeah.
Someone can Google this. I'm sure there's a rule, which is you must play your strongest team because of sportsmanship. But honestly, this is where I think rotate it. And if the Premier League come after you, tell them to do one. Say, sorry, mate, we've done our job over 35 games. I don't care. I don't care about anything else. And if there is a fine, just take it on the chin and we move along. And also say, sorry, Mr. Mr. Premier League, but we decided to start Danny Ings and Maxwell Cornet because we spent over 30 million on them. How do you decide that that's not in our strongest 11? I think it's a can of worms they're opening when they start to give teams trouble. It's a 38-game season. Managers should rotate as much as they want during that season, in my opinion. It's part of the fun. It's part of the game. It's like Everton are playing Man City today. I bet you City do not have their strongest 11 out.
No, of course not.
They might only rest 2 players, but what's the difference between resting 2 and resting 5? You're resting. You're not
Hold on, so we're resting 5. Danny Ings is playing.
No, we're not resting 5. Do you want to know the team? We are resting everyone. This is the West Ham team this afternoon. In goal is Lucas Fabianski with a back 4 of Ben Johnson, Nathan Gerd, Angelo Bona and Emerson. A midfield 3 of Thomas Souček, Flynn Downs and Pablo Fornals, with a front 3, or however you want to look at it, is Manuel Lanzini, Maxwell Cornet and Danny Ings. The big guns are on the bench, but that is your West Ham team for this afternoon.
Yeah. And the only reason he's picked Souček is because Souček is a bit of an animal, isn't he, really? He just keeps on running anyway.
There's no other players, to be fair, unless he starts throwing the under-18s in, which he was never going to do. There's no other senior player to put in.
Yeah, I guess so. There you go. Interesting team, isn't it? It's a terrible team, but good on him. You know, it's exactly the right thing to do. It really is exactly the right thing to do. It'll be interesting to see how he incorporates Danny Ings in that. That's going to be very interesting and good for Danny Ings to get a start. Good for Cornet to get some. Actually, all of them. Really good for Lanzini to get a start as well. Probably be well, not necessarily not if we. Maybe starts the last 2 games as well, you know. So why not? So we bloody should do that. Bring it on, Premier League, or whoever wants to smack our bums.
In the live chat, there's currently a poll asking, what is your happiness? What's your thoughts on the starting 11 from West Ham? There's 4 selections. Please choose whichever one reflects your opinion on the starting team. I'm really happy with it. Honestly, well done, David Moyes. Well done. Right now, I am buzzing for Thursday night.
Yeah.
I am. I know we've got a game today, and it's got a bit of a pre-season friendly feel to it for me. A little bit of like a third round FA Cup game, really rotate heavily kind of thing. Listen, I hope we win. I hope those boys put in a performance. At the end of the day, Moyes' team talked piss easy today, which is we've got a semi-final on Thursday. Do you want to play in it? Yes, Gaffer. Well, out you go. Now,
I would also suggest, Gio, I would also suggest that Moyes. All right, it won't be true. It'll be a lie, but Moyes can play it in. Hold on, there's plenty of good players in there, and he can turn around and say, "Hold on, I've got my first choice goalkeeper in there." He could say, "I got my first choice 2 centre backs." We know it's not true, right? But
you could say it's his first choice left back as well.
Of course he could. Absolutely he could. Souček, you can say Souček's my favourite defender. Freudian slip there. He's my favourite midfielder. I'm not sure I get away with the rest. Yeah, Danny Ings, my new signing.
He spent 32 million on Ings and Cornet. It's not like we're throwing in. There's no youth players in that starting 11. That's a Premier League.
Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point in registering your 25-man squad or whatever it is?
If they're going to say you can't do that, you can't field that lot. Honestly,
right. Okay,
I hope if the Premier League do give us in trouble, I hope Moyes goes really public against it and says what a joke this is, what an absolute joke. And then if anything, I hope we play Leeds, put out the first 11, and they stand still. So sorry, but this is they don't want to get injured, so we've got to play our first 11. So we're going to play our first 11 at 50% because we're not allowed to play the second 11 at 100%. So we'll do what we're supposed to do. And honestly, it's a stupid rule, but I'm buzzing. Well done, David Moyes, because Moyes will know there's possible repercussions coming from the Premier League for this, and he's gone, do you know what? It doesn't matter. We're going to go full steam ahead with it. He's doing the right thing for West Ham United today.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Bugger the sportsmanship, bugger competitiveness, and how fair it is on. The one way we'll get away with this is because Brentford's not playing for anything. If Brentford were in the relegation battle as well today, then you say, hang on, this is unfair on Everton and Leeds and stuff. But because Brentford are playing for 9th in the Premier League, I think you get away with that a little bit.
And Ivan Toney's probably seen the team sheet and he's thinking, actually, I really do fancy a Brentford win today.
Well, apparently he's out as well. Apparently Ivan Toney's not playing today.
He don't care. It's not going to stop him having a flutter.
So that's your West Ham starting 11. The bench for the Hammers. You can probably guess all the big guns are on there. We've got Areola on there as well as Adam Cresswell, Kurt Zuma, Thilo Kehrer, Declan Rice, Lucas Paqueta, Jared Bowen, Said Benrahma, and Mubama as well. No Antonio. Antonio's been given the day off. He picked up a knock in the game on Thursday.
Good.
Anyway. So Antonio's got the day off. He's got his
Good.
feet up somewhere.
Yeah,
Maybe
nice.
he's off to see whoever Roma's playing today. And
That's right. Good on him.
that's your West Ham team.
I like it. Yeah. Why not? Why not? Mubama on a bench. Like a bit of that. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with that. That'll do. Honestly, even if you lose 3-0, I get no criticism from me today.
Yeah, he could have had a couple of more youngsters on there instead of Paqueta, but I'm not going to criticise Moyes for that. I get why he's doing that. If anything, this is his backup with when the Premier League do complain. You can say, but I had them all on the bench. There was only one under 18-year-old involved in the squad, and he didn't even come on the pitch. So what's your problem?
Yeah.
I hope we see no subs today, really. I hope those boys don't get you. Well, Mubama. That's it.
Nice, yeah. I know what you mean.
Apart from that, I hope the rest of them don't come on.
Well, maybe if he's going to play Souček, that's probably one thing I would have done. It's no criticism, but maybe I would have had Potts on the bench or something like that, just so as Souček 60 minutes. Right, come on, mate.
Yeah, Angry's saying the same, which is I would have seen Luiziao on there, so we could have got a Gerd off at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, that's your West Ham team. Let's take a little look and see how the home side are lining up this afternoon. Your Brentford starting 11 today has Rhea in goal with the captain's armband because there is no Ivan Toney. And they've got back four, Aaron Hickey right back with Pinnock and me at centre-back, Enrico Henry at left-back. The Nelt partners Jensen and Damsgaard in midfield. Mbeumo will likely start to the right-hand side, Shad through the middle, and Wissa on the left. Possibly
cheeky.
Shad on the left and Wissa in the middle. But 4-3-3 from Brentford today.
Yes. Yeah. Well, good on them. Good on. I couldn't care less, really, to be perfectly honest with you. I feel slightly sorry for any Brentford fans tuning into this video. These West Ham fans don't care. No, we're.
I think they know we don't care. When I did the preview with Tom, the Brentford fan, he was a bit like, "You just don't really, you're not arsed for this game, are you?" I was like, "No," and he was a bit like, "Good, I get it. Enjoy enjoy it.
Yeah.
Go win the trophy. Go win it. Don't worry about the Premier League."
Yeah.
So I think most clubs, fans of most clubs, maybe not necessarily the top six because they're a privileged lot, but the rest of them get it. They're like, no, you're quite right. You should be focusing on trying to win a trophy for your club.
Well, it gives everyone hope. And I said this, I'm not just saying it because it's us. I said it when Leicester won it. Well, both the wins that they had, the league and the cup. It absolutely does. It does give the rest of us, what do you call them? The other 14, is that what it's called in the Twitter?
Yeah, the other 14.
Yeah, it does. It does give the rest of us a bit of hope. There's no doubt about it.
I completely agree. A beacon, a shining light. Brentford's team. It's a good team. I think that's their first choice. I think that's their first choice back four. Jensen's been in great form. Damsgaard hasn't quite hit the heights. Tony's a big loss for them. Let's not underplay that. Tony's a huge loss, but
he's accumulated enough goals from this season, hasn't
he? Wissa loves playing against us. He's got a funny shaped head, doesn't he?
Wissa? I don't know. I'll have to have a look. I'll let you know.
Do you know, I think Wissa's got a weird head?
Well, I can't remember. He was just bloody fast. He was too quick, too fast to notice when he was destroying Aaron Cresswell.
See, I don't think that's who you're thinking of.
It's not.
The player that ruined Cresswell in the return leg was Da Silva when he went on to score.
Da Silva.
Yeah, he smashed into. He just battered Cresswell out of the way, and Cresswell just gave up.
Was very fast. Played wide.
I mean,
wide right.
No, I can't remember who played there when we played them at the London Stadium, but Da Silva came in from the right hand side because it was a throw in. Remember, it was just a long throw. We were all like,
it was good, but yeah, that was our throw in phase, wasn't it? We're conceding from throw ins. Didn't we get done by two throw ins in that game?
Possibly, I think.
Yeah, I think we might have done. Yeah, I couldn't attest to the shape of his head, quite frankly, but he got very fast legs.
Maybe Charlie's listening. He can go get a photo of Wissa with the best angle for a weird looking head.
What we want to see, and then what we want to see is, like the Manchester City Junior Supporters Guild or whatever they are. They call the Man City players. I want to see someone draw Wissa. I want to see one of the kids draw Wissa, and then we'll decide.
Anyway, the bench for Brentford this afternoon. On the bench is Cox, COX. I'm not describing their entire bench. Cox is on the bench, along with Da Silva, Zanka, Godos, Onyeka, Ayer, Baptiste, Ruselev, and Stevens. That is the bench for Brentford this afternoon. Right.
Oh, it's a shame.
Let me get loading up the almighty betting app. While you're all here, while we're doing this, what we're ready to do, me and Gonzo are ready to compile a little bet. If it wins, we'll give one of you guys the money. And I've got a couple of nice things to put in here that's going to boost the odds up, and we'll get Gonzo's wild selection as well. But while you're here, please do drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up. Helps the channel out. If someone comes onto YouTube and searches Brentford West Ham, this will be the #1 result if you are watching this right now and go and like that video. And if you're new to Hammer's Chat, please do subscribe. Approximately 1/3 of the people who watch our videos do not subscribe to the channel. Sort it out, will you? Anyway, Gonzo, what are you fancying?
I'm trying to formulate a phrase in my mind at the moment, but
oh no, I know what you're way to do. You're way to use
their
son goalkeeper.
I don't think you do. I'm going to trip one. I've got 3 names involved in this phrase.
What about the bet?
I'm trying to work Danny Ings in there as well. But anyway, go you do the bet, mate. You do the bet.
Have you got your phrase?
Sorry?
Have you got your phrase sorted?
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay, right. In the live chat, to enter, I'll tell you what the bet is in a minute. Please put the following phrase, and if the bet wins, one of you will win it. The following phrase is...
Hickey on me Cox.
Oh, my God.
It's the only one.
Me's got a double E as well, so Hickey on me Cox, and with an X, please, with an X, otherwise it's not going to work. So Hickey on me Cox.
Oh, get quick!
Yeah, you spelled it wrong, Collingwood has. Here we go. Hammer 1999. Thank you. That's the correct spelling. Savloy as well has got it. Don't worry, we don't punish you for the lack of spelling. It's just to get the comments in.
We won't. I'm particularly not with a name like Oi Savloy.
What are you putting in the live chat? And in the live chat in the bet, what do you fancy?
Oh, right. So I've cleared my mind now.
Yeah, you're no longer thinking. You're no longer thinking about Cox.
Yeah, I can see what you've done. Yes, that's very clever. Should I say West Ham to win the game?
Do you honestly believe we're going to win the game?
I don't know. I just want to win some money.
I don't even think David Moyes believes we're winning the game.
No, he doesn't. I'm just like everyone typing that phrase, really. Some people do it in Dave's doing it in capitals, which is nice.
Look at the starting 11. I'm sorry, but we're not winning today. I know they're missing Tony.
Okay, all right. So West Ham to lose the game. Wissa has got to score with his head, with his funny shaped head, hasn't he? That's what's going to happen.
Right. Wissa to score. I'm putting in Ben.
You do a header.
Not in this. Oh, you can, but not with the accumulator. I'm doing Ben Mee to have a shot. That's a really good price.
I mean, Christopher's not quite got the phrase.
We're doing... What's he put?
Hairy meat Cox.
What?
Hairy meat Cox.
We used to be sponsored by Manscaped. That would have been handy.
I'll tell you what, never mind that. We've got old bloody Hello Fresh coming up. I might be making a couple of portions of that on Tuesday.
What, hairy Cox?
Hairy meat Cox. It's Cox apple. And it's a kangaroo meat. I don't know.
Do you fancy anyone to have a shot on target for West Ham? Just to bump the odds up. Never mind, you can't pick anyone because no one's starting. So the only player you can have is Souček.
Souček will have a shot on target for West
Ham.
Ham.
There you go. That's good. That's the only player you can actually bet on.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, because basically they have Rice, Paquette and all that. And as soon as they're not starting, they delete all the players that's not starting. Souček's only one left. So this is the bet. If this bet wins, someone will win 230 quid. Brentford to win the match. Ben Mee to have a shot. Doesn't have to hit target. Wissa to score a goal. Souček to have a shot on target. And under 4 cards in the match. Now, my outside bet for this game is 16-1. Paddy Power. No cards in the game. That's my outside bet for this one. I did a bet. Charlie can vouch for this. I did a bet yesterday. No cards in the Crystal Palace Bournemouth game. No cards in the West Ham game. I would have won $1.5 grand. Anyway, in the 91st minute, there was a yellow card in the Palace game.
Oh, no.
Got to stoppage time. I thought, come on, I'm halfway there.
Oh, I bet.
Paddy Power, like, here's a generous cash out of over £100. I was like, no chance, Paddy. I'm staying in. I fancy it. And 91st minute was the card. Anyway.
Oh, You done well. You done well to get up this morning, mate. I think I'd still be in the depths of despair.
I would only been. I would have still needed no cards in our game. But Michael Oliver's the referee today. He likes to keep his cards in his pocket for as long as possible. Bit of a rotated side from us, and like I said, I think it's got like pre-season vibes about it. Starting 11. Anyway, time for you lot to get your thoughts in now. It could be about the West Ham team, the Brentford team. Any hopes or fears you have for the game? Not your score prediction, though. But Gonzo, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking no tedious Thomas the Troll today is what I'm thinking.
What else are you thinking?
No, I'm just pleased, mate. I'm honestly, I'm pleased.
This is me. Slim Face is me. Interesting to see this team play. Not confident, but very intrigued.
It will be, and from a sort of laid back position, really, of actually, just having a look at the players and being interested to see what they can do. I mean, we have seen this. We've seen this sort of thing. This is not completely alien to us because, the last 2 seasons, he has swapped the team around for some of the group games in European football. So we know some of these guys can perform. It's not we're going to go out there and going to get thrashed. I would imagine he'll get them to sit back because he'll still have one eye on Leeds United. That being said, it's next to impossible for them to do what they want to do.
But you're not wrong to go on. So a 1-0 defeat is almost an okay result for us today.
Yeah, but you won't want to with the goal. What he doesn't want to do is make it so as Leeds have to beat us 3-0 and then beat Tottenham to stay up. You want to keep that goal difference thing up there. So I mean, look, I think I'm not sure we'll attack that much. I think we'll sit back. I mean, it's definitely beneficial for them not to have Tony playing. No doubt about that at all. So that's going to help defence out. But they're two really good centre backs we've got there as well. Let's not forget that. And we've got Souček's going to sit in front of them, as will Downs. Downs is a stopper in central midfield. I don't think they're going to find it too easy going through the middle, wide positions. Maybe not. But look, you've got 4 nails in the team. He's going to track back and help out. Whatever side he's on, I guess it will be on the right. So he's going to help Johnson out there. I think, and to be fair, even Cornet on the left. Cornet has played wing back before. I think he might have even played a couple of games at left back. So you've got someone there who is going to try and work back. So I think we might play it quite tight, really. I mean, my poor old Danny Ings might find himself ploughing a lonely furrow up front, as it were. Mubama to come on in the second half, scored a winner. Speaking
of Danny Ings, Slimface would rather see Mubama up front than Danny Ings. Adam says he hopes that we see Mubama at some point. Taz says Moyes shocked us all by resting some players. Crowd would like to see Mubama come on for Danny Ings around about the hour mark. Exactly. Steve hopes Cornet has a good game. Guy said best we could hope for is a draw, but that'd be pie in the sky. Notts County are back in the footballing league. Frankie James said, really would be a nice surprise. We could see Cornet and Ings up front together, making a nice little partnership.
Yeah.
Baz was excited for it. Said these lot are going to want to prove themselves. Dean says, love the team change as expected. I think we'll still win, despite you both saying we won't. 3-1 to West Ham.
Oh, he's got with the Irons as well.
Garino says, curious to see that rare beast Cornet released into the wild, so David Attenberg will be pleased.
He certainly will.
Olive said this team could end up being better than the normal one. Colin Moon said we're probably the team that rotates the least when in European football. We've just shoved them all into one game.
True. He's right. He's absolutely right.
Carl says lots of players with something to prove today. We might have a surprise here. 2-1 West Ham. Matthew said it's the best decision all season with this lineup. Darren says Cornet could play himself into the side. Spooky said if any of these play well, they will definitely be on the bench on Thursday.
That's right. He's absolutely right. I like the two posts. The 2 posts there back to back. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. Michael says, I think Brentford should sign Holding, and then the team sheet could read Holding me.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
John says,
hey, Michael, we got a good 11. So in the summer, when nothing's happening, we'll do a really naughty 11.
John says, let's face it, Cornet, Ings, Souček, Lanzini, Fornals, they're all capable of scoring. So I think we'll get a draw. Paul's asking for any card tips in other matches. Ben White, if Mitoma starts. And I've been recently doing fouls. I'm addicted to the foul market at the minute. I'm doing pretty well in it. So today, Nathan Patterson is, I haven't seen the City 11. I believe Grealish is benched, but I would put Foden up against him. Patterson is 11 to 10 to do 2 fouls. Decent price for Patterson foulers. Cameron says, I think Moyes has got spot on. Souček deserves a rest, but he could run all week. I think Agüero is a better option to keep in the side, considering Zuma's only just back. Matt's confident. We have a team full of players who know if they have a great game, they could find themselves playing in a European final. Very interested in seeing this team play. The one thing I will say, I actually agree with that, because will they start the final? No. But as we've just seen in the semi-final on Thursday, Moyes didn't make a change until very late on. You know, we saw Fornals' face in the 88th minute when he's coming for Ben Ram. He had a face like thunder, as if to say, like, this, it's almost disrespectful putting me on. You put me on to time waste, essentially. Yes. So what they can do is essentially play well today. And there's another 2 games, Leeds and Leicester. There's another 2 games where they can pick up a decent amount of minutes. It's possible that Correa gets at least 200 minutes in the next 3 Premier League games. If he can get a goal and assist, suddenly, if we get to the final and there's 20 minutes to go, we need a goal, Correa is suddenly now an option.
Yeah.
Instead of coming on with 5 minutes to go, you might come on with 25 minutes to go. And it sounds so patronising. But these players could actually, as some of them have suggested, get on in a European final. They've got 3 games now as an addition to prove to Moyes, actually, I am trustworthy. You can bring me off the bench. I can change a game. And they're in competition with each other. Fornals is in competition with Lanzini and Cornet. Make no mistake about it. Ings is in competition with Cornet and possibly Mubama as well.
Oh, you don't. The thing is, with this stuff, you don't know what happens. You've only got to look at some of our records in some of our games, not just the old ones. Even someone like Vazte, or you can really etch yourself into West Ham history and folklore. You don't have to be. You know, you just don't know what happens. Anything happens, there's an injury, something, an unexpected substitution. If you're the guy that scores that goal that wins us a trophy, you're done. I mean, you ain't buying another drink for a very long. If you're you're not. You're really not. You're
The proof's in the pudding. Look, there he is, Mr. Ricardo Vazte. When we
got
got a beer match done, it was like Vazte has to be in there because he's ultimate cult hero status.
Yeah, absolutely. You are. Yeah, you're on it. You are and everything. You've got sorted out. You don't even worry about a job when you're older, right? Because by the time you've retired, you're doing the players' lounge. You're doing, you've got a job every match day at West Ham. It's honestly, you wouldn't be able to walk down the street if a West Ham fan wanted to shake your hand. This is the thing. I think this is the thing that a lot of players don't fully understand. I've got the idea that Paqueta was grasping it. The other day when he was talking, I've never known anything like this sort of adulation from a fan base. And this is something Declan's going to obviously have to deal with, because when he does go to wherever he goes, look like Man City or into wherever he goes, Declan's not going to be more popular than Saka, for instance, at Arsenal. He won't. And there will always be, he can't go to Man City and be more popular than De Bruyne or Haaland or anything. So he's not going to be the apple of everyone's eye. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to be everyone's hero. They'll like him. They'll appreciate him. It'll be a really good player, but you're not going to be able to do that. And you just, unless you're at a big club and you win, you know what I'm saying, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Man United and you win the Champions League or something like that. Unless you do something like that, then actually to win something with West Ham is really special, because fans just love you forever.
Eddie says, happy we're resting players, not ideal, but worth a go. Jason says, got the winning feeling, or at least a point. Amanda says, I think we might win today, which is nuts, however. Wayne said, I think Downs and Paqueta look decent against Man City, so I think the more they play together is a good thing. Wayne, I don't want to be the one to burst your bubble, but Paqueta's not in the team. He's on the bench. DC said, I think we might realise just how bad our squad is today. Don't wreck that goal difference, lads. Lewis says Mubama needs at least 20 minutes, otherwise it's such a missed opportunity. David says, think we'll beat Brentford, whatever, but I would have played Areola this afternoon and Fabianski on Thursday. See, if Areola was that's actually a good point. If Areola is starting the semi-final, which I think he will, he should have played today just to keep his match sharpness up, and also he's got a Gerd in front of him to get that understanding up and running as well. I don't know why I was switching keepers. I would play... Moyes knows who he's going to play on Thursday. He should be in goal today, whoever it is. It might be Fabianski, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll be Areola.
Sure.
Ron says, intriguing to see Downs and Souček today. This is possibly our starting duo if Rice leaves.
No.
Nice one. Contact Light says we're winning this. They won't know how we are going to play. I mean, that's true. I don't think our team know how we're going to play.
El mystery, yeah.
Hammer 1999 says, I like the team. Get match sharpness in the legs in case they're needed. Would have liked laying over a Gerd for resting purposes, but understand it. Mubama consolation off the bench for me.
For me or me? Ben me or himself?
Him. YOLO says, what are you guys watching this match on now? YOLO, it's not being streamed. It's not broadcast in the UK, so we're going to be listening to the radio. But if you're wanting a radio stream, a link to a radio stream which gives you a really good visual representation. There'll be links in the Hammers Chat Discord. Link is in the description below. Go into the Discord and there'll be links to the radio stream there. And it's such a good radio stream. You can close your eyes and really picture it.
You just picture it, can't you? Yeah.
Oh,
don't leave much to the imagination. He's right, Geo.
It's thoroughly impressive.
Oh, amazing. Don't feel like you've missed anything.
Hopkins said we'd have preferred Johnson as centre-back as opposed to Gerd, but the rest picks itself. Get behind the boys and hope they make the most of their times on the pitch, especially Lanzini and Finals. I think the problem with that Johnson thing is then you've got to play someone right back. There isn't anyone. So I get why he's picking a Gerd at centre-back. Stevie says, looks like a 4-2-3-1. Great to see Down start. Shame he'll get dropped immediately, even if he's man of match. What are you giggling at now?
I like your radio stuff. That is excellent.
Yeah, because we would never, ever suggest you illegally stream a game of football. You're not allowed to do it. It's illegal.
No way. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I highly recommend tuning into the radio stream. Fantastic stuff.
Wonderful. Wireless.
Vicky's dad said, I have a feeling we'll win today. No reasoning, just a feeling. James would have vested Souček and gone 4-4-2 and Mubama up front with Danny Ings. I agree with what Gonzo saying. I think he's probably just trying to preserve the goals conceded column. The one thing I will say is also thank you to Just Matt for the £1 super chat. I appreciate he probably put something there, but we can't see it. And Oxby said Blackpool
thank you.
got a fine of 25 grand for changing the 11. I mean, what's 25 grand to a Premier League club?
Hey, nothing to people like us, Gio.
What are you thinking about now?
Like
Yeah, there you go. That's why the radio streams are really good.
Yeah.
That's why it's good. Yeah, Will's radio gets pictures.
Did I click on that? Sorry.
Yeah, you must have done. Yeah, I'm just leaving it to you now. You carry on. You having fun?
There you go.
Radio.
Hold on. I didn't mean to click that. Over to you, Gio. Over to you.
Suburban says Moisey finally win this over with this selection. Reckon our B team will give them the runaround. Lanzini special. The thing is, Gonzo, the pressure's off the starting 11 today. They will know they're starting 11, right? They're not stupid, okay? They will. Cornet will be sat there thinking, "I'm only in because he knows he's not playing alongside Antonio and Bowen." Yeah. They will all know they're in there today to give the other ones a rest, but it takes the pressure off them a little bit. And we saw Finals against Bournemouth. He came on when we were 3-0 up. Might have even been 2-0. I think we were 3-0 up when he came onto the pitch. He was better. There was no pressure on him. He was able to enjoy himself a little bit more because the game was already won. And you've seen Cornet coming on when we've already won games. And he looks that little bit less offside. But do you know what I mean?
That's what happens when there's no pressure on you. You are just less offside. That's what they say. It's that big old football cliche.
But there's nothing on the boys. They've got everything to gain and nothing to lose. The starting 11 today, they can gain more minutes in the European Cups. And what have they got to lose? They're back on the bench and they don't get used. Well, that's what they were doing on Thursday anyway. So I think it's a great position to be in for those players starting today. And then, Souček will feel like probably be thinking, cheers, Gaffer, I'm the one you're not resting. Thanks for that. Who's captain? I assume it's Ogbonna.
Yeah,
it will be, won't it?
Souček's brought it on himself, quite frankly. He keeps running around all the time. He runs about a million miles every single game. Can't blame David Moyes thinking, we could get another game out of him. He don't stop. He's like the Duracell bunny, isn't he?
Steve, there's no booze in here. Last week was a one-off. I was out before the game. There's no alcohol. Look, I'm on the water. I'm on the water today. Back to my normal thing. Right, time for you all to get your score predictions into the live chat. Let's see what you are saying, but please make it obvious who you're going for. You put 2-1. I'm going to assume it's for a Brentford win since they're the home team. So if you're going for a West Ham win, please be very, very specific and say which one you are going for. Get your score predictions in. Gonzo, in the preview, I think you said 3-1 Brentford.
Possibly. Yeah, did I? There you go. Yeah, I'm not so much now. I don't think we will. I don't think we'll lose 3-1 because I don't think they've. I think we'll sit tight. I think they'll find it really hard to break us down. I think they've got Ivan Toney. Do you know what? I think we're gonna get a draw actually.
Oh no, you did go for a 2-2 draw. You're sorry,
Oh,
Andy. You're right. He did go 2-2.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be 2-2 though. No, not now. But I don't think either team's got. I can't see a 4-goal game really. I'm gonna go 1-1 actually. I think we might be able to get a draw and put all that stuff to bed then, and just let everybody else worry about the rest. I mean, that'd be great. What a great point that would be. Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean,
stuff doesn't matter, does it?
If we lose, we'll obviously still be rooting for Liverpool tomorrow night, just in case the unthinkable happens. But I think we'll lose. The weird thing is that the live chat's pretty confident we're not getting beat, or optimistic rather. Ryan says 3-1. All right, Val says 3-1 Brentford. Paul says 4-2. But Liam says 3-1 West Ham. Michael thinks 1-1, but possibly even win it 2-1. Chuckin says 2-1. Rick says 0-0. Christopher, I will not be giving you my bank account number and sort code. Not that you can do anything with it, but Gonzo, do you want to give him yours? If you can deposit large funds into this following account, that would be grand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Celtic says 3-2 West Ham. 0-0 says Adam. 1-0, 2-1 Brentford, 2-1 West Ham, 2-1 West Ham, 3-2 Brentford, 4-3 West Ham. I don't know where we're getting 4 goals from. We struggled to score 2 with our first 11. I'm not sure why. Brian thinks we're going to win 3-2. Cornelius going to get a brace. I can't
see many goals.
I don't see where we're getting. I mean, Robin says 3-3. Cornelius Ings and a Gerd scoring. I'm going to say 2-1 Brentford. No, 2-0 Brentford. I just don't see us scoring. I'm going to say 2-0 Brentford. And I think one of them will be a set piece. Ben me. Bang. But anyway, Charlie will be with us in a second. But before Charlie's here, please do drop a like on the videos. Go, you need to Hamish chat. Henry says 2-0 to Paqueta. I mean, that'd be
right. It's your barnstormer today.
1-1, 1-1, 3-1 West Ham, 3-2 West Ham, 2-0.
Nice watch, Christian. Nice watch.
What's it got?
It was a nice watch. Bloody good watch, that.
I don't know. What is it? I'm not really.
I think it's a mega watch. I might be wrong. It's like nice.
I'm not a watch connoisseur. I'm not.
Well, I always break them, so I don't have watches.
You can't even tell the time. You're always bloody late.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I'm always bloody late. Yeah, fair enough.
Muddy reckons it's going to be like a friendly, and I completely agree with Muddy. I think it's going to be low tempo. I don't think there's going to be much tackles, cards, goals. I think it's going to be quite a boring game, but I'm not that bothered in all honesty. I'm a bit like, Ian says we're all positive because it's the first time we've seen a different lineup in 8 matches, 2-2.
Well, and we got something else to look forward to. We're all focused on something else. We're basically relaxed. This doesn't determine whether you have a good or bad weekend. This result today, it really doesn't. We're all looking forward to Thursday. That's the thing.
I'm looking forward to Thursday more because of the starting 11 tonight. When I saw what the team was, I was a bit, here we go. Now we're on to it. Mark, that's brilliant. Mark said, I don't have time for watches.
Quite right.
Hey, fantastic. Love a good pun. Harry says, well done to David Moyes. James says we'll lose 2-0, but he's not arsed at all. Carl's asking how we met. I was in a bar and Gonzo approached me.
He was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar.
And just to squash any rumours off the back of that joke, there was an old forum. It went crap. Gonzo created a new forum, hammerschat.com, and we were both contributors to said old forum, and we were actually going to share a season ticket for the last season Upton Park. Never got round to it, and then I helped Gonzo with the new forum. I was doing, I guess, what Gonzo's doing right now, but for a betting community, a gambling one. I went on every week with my bets for the week, and someone said you should start a YouTube channel for West Ham. I said no chance. I told Gonzo we did it, in the rest is history now.
There you go. So, that's the best, most condensed version of the story I've ever heard. I'm glad you told it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. There's loads. We're talking about Hammer's Chat. I mean, there's 8 years worth of stuff, so been going for a while. But do you know who was our first ever guest on YouTube?
BREWHU! As a proper intro, there you go.
It was me.
BREWHU.
It was me. I was the first.
Geo
tweeted, right? I wasn't even following Hammer's Chat. I still don't know to this day who retweeted it. But Geo tweeted out, going to do some YouTube videos or something. Does anyone want to appear? And I was the only person who replied, let's go, boys.
Yeah, so we took Charlie because there were no other options.
Let's
And he's
go.
still not
Now I'm
gone
here.
He was eating under the table then as well.
Did you see this? Thanks, Dan. I forgot about this. Did you see Vlasic's goal? It is a banger.
Oh.
It is top bins banger. Was it his left foot? Maybe I
Yeah.
imagine it. Yeah, it was left foot banger into the top corner. Screamer.
Lashed it home. Highly recommend finding it. It's probably on Twitter. It's probably everywhere on Twitter, to be fair. Yeah. But it is a banger. Makes you think, makes you wonder what's going to happen next summer with him. I mean, he'll probably leave, but still.
Charlie, can we get the results from the poll, please?
You can. We asked how you felt about the starting 11. Gio, you were mentioning previously about how the last game was the most positive we'd ever been. And I tell you what, we haven't matched it, but we're flipping close. 1% of people are fuming. 3% of people are saying it's poor. 25% of people said it's all right. And 69% of people are very happy. Over 1,000 people voted on it. And it's very close. Very, very close to being the most positive it's ever been. Unbelievable.
Oh,
you can
see that.
Do you know something? I'm pleased with that because obviously me and Gonzo want to see rotation, but it doesn't mean everybody else does. But to get those results, I think just reassures me that everybody wants to see rotation. Everyone's happy with the team. And I'm going to assume the majority will be okay if we lose. They'll be a bit, I accept it, I understand, move on to Thursday night kind of thing. So when we're talking about pressure off, I think pressure's off everyone. The players, Moyes, the fans in a weird way. There's just nothing. Nobody's demanding anything. I quite like it. I like that. We've had a crap season so far. There's been a lot of pressure, a lot of misery going into games. The lineups have been rubbish, but this one, everybody's just chilled out, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the feel good factor.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've been obviously speaking to people on the Patreon podcast. 2 Spanners, 1 Hammer, available at patreon.com/hammerchat. And everyone I've spoken to as well is talking. One is incredibly excited about the end of the season now. All of a sudden, now there's nothing to be worried about. We're like, hey, let's go. And also everyone wants to see rotation. I think this is exactly what outside of, people might have picked slightly different people and maybe Mubama gets in there or whoever, right? Outside of that, basically, this is the exact same lineup everyone would have gone with. And this is the exact same vibe everyone would have gone with. And I think, I can't see a reason to be upset about staying, maybe apart from the final result. But, that's a separate issue. That's, I wouldn't even describe it as an issue. The score will be the score. And, we've done the right thing for Thursday. And actually, who cares about what the Premier League says? It really doesn't make a difference.
True, excellent comments. Alex saying, surprisingly excited, haven't been for a while, just feel like it's a bit of a free hit, and now I reckon we'll be surprised by a win. But also Andy with an excellent point says, do you think AZ have the depth or ability to rotate in their league game tonight? I mean, that's the other side of it, isn't it? If you tune into AZ's game this evening, they're playing their first 11, because they've got to. You look at their league table, they need to win. They cannot take their eye off the ball. So we're fully rested up, but AZ will be possibly going gung-ho tonight and trying to get that win at home. So what are you laughing at now?
I'm laughing at Irish Tommy's point, which is basically he's picked up from the poll that 10 people are fuming. He wants to hear we want a video from the 10 fuming people. That'd be good.
It's probably Declan Rice. Thomas Souček's probably quickly voted. I'm not happy about this. I'm still playing. I'm knackered.
Yeah, at least both Emersons are probably all right about it.
Brilliant. Right, before myself and Gonzo disappear, don't go anywhere. Charlie's right through here till full time. I'll be back at half time to join him for a chin wag. 4 things. 1, drop a like on the video, click thumbs up. Number 2, subscribe if you're new to Hammers Chat. Number 3, join our Patreon, patreon.com/Hammers Chat. Join as a mild ad. It costs you £5.50. Unlock loads of more content. And if you don't like it, at the end of the month, let us know. We'll give you a $5.50 back because we're that confident you're going to like it. Q&A tomorrow, Anton Ferdinand podcast next week, plus all the other usual stuff. And lastly, number 4, fancy some Julian Dix signed merch, t-shirts, prints, or a signed book by Julian Dix. Myself and Gonzo are doing a private signing session with the legend next month. So you can pre-order your merchandise now, and we'll get it signed by Julian. We'll get it sent out to you next month. All the links are in the description below. You support Hammers Chat. You support Julian Dix directly. The money goes directly to Julian Dix. And if you buy a print, you also support Canning Town Lane. So you're supporting 3 West Ham. What do you call it? Yeah. 2 West Ham content creators and a legend. So there you go. But anyway, Charlie, I've done the admin part for you, so we'll leave it with you now, all right?
Appreciate it. Thank you, Gio.
Right, Gonzo, ta-ra.
Thank you, Gonzo. And thank you, everyone, for joining. Hello, everyone. How are we all? I hope you're all well. Let's start strong on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham result today? It's going to be an interesting one, given the fact that I think the happiness with the team and the confidence in the result are maybe two separate things. So I'll be interested to see where these sort of confidence levels lie ultimately. Oh, and I'll be interested because for me, as we look at the team, actually, let's pull it up and then have a little look through. There are things to be excited about, but ultimately, as much as we can talk about the rotation, and obviously the rotation is a big thing, we also have to remember we are facing Brentford. And for us, Brentford are not good. Brentford are not a good thing for us to face. We very much struggle with this, right? So when you look at the likes of Fabianski in goal, Johnson again, Ogbonna, Emerson, Souček, Downs, Fornals, Lanzini, Cornet, and Danny Ings, you know, I would, if you put our strongest 11 out of this team, I would be somewhat concerned about the result, if we're being honest about it. This definitely, I'm a little bit less confident even than that. Not that I think it's bad by any stretch of imagination. And actually, a lot of what you lot have been saying in the live chat and the build-up, I strongly agree with, right? A lot of these players have something to gain. Geo said it. Everything to gain, nothing to lose. A lot of these players, barring a few, Danny Ings knows he will not start. Unless there is an injury, Danny Ings knows he will not start, right? And he knows he'll probably come on as a sub. Outside of that, though, you could maybe make the argument that everyone has a point to prove. Everyone has a place to gain, potentially. You know, a good performance here could put you in contention, not only for Thursday, but for the rest of the season. Because we've got 2 more games after this where I would expect less rotation. Given the fact that if we manage somehow amazingly to get through to the final, there's weeks before that happens. That happens, I think it's June 8th, 7th, I think it is. So there's weeks before then, right? There's going to be these 2 games in the middle where we don't really need to rotate because, frankly, there's nothing to rotate for. There's a game of weeks apart. There's going to be opportunities. There's going to be opportunities to grab here, and I think that's a really good thing. So when you look at the likes of Fornals, Lanzini, Cornet, Fornals are the 2 big ones. Emerson's a big one. I could even make an argument for Johnson. There's places to be grabbed, right? Ariola, Benrahma, Bowen, Cresswell, Kera, Bubama, Paqueta, Rice, and Zuma are who are on the bench. But when it comes to confidence levels, 3, says Kungle Fox. -1, says Tom. Dean's coming through with a 10 out of 10. Mike's gone with a 5. I've not heard about him. I assume he's just pottering about injured, I would suspect. I don't know. I haven't really been paying too much attention to Henry, to be fair, because I just assumed he wasn't going to see him again this season. 5, 5.5, 8, 2, 8, 5, 8, 6.6, 7. Clicked on him the wrong order, but you know what I mean. 6, 7, no Tony. Which is a fair point, actually. When it comes to being confident against Brentford, that does shoot those confidence levels up, actually, not having Ivan Toney. 5, great lineup. Toby saying 6. Good to see you, Toby, by the way. 3, 1, but don't care, says Paul. Big vibes. 4, 6, 7. Solid 5, 6, 7, 6, 4. 6 for a draw. A carefree 69. You love to see it, Dan. You love to see it. It happens to the best of us, David. It happens to the best of us. Thankfully, my man uploads at least once a day. So we can all get our fix when necessary, you know. He'll be having, 3 different videos by the end of the day he'll be on? Maybe 4, potentially. I don't know. We'll see. You know, so we can get that fix. How much chat 4 channel, by the way? Subscribe. 3, 7, 7, 8, 3, 6, 6, 6 6, 7, 6.4, 6, boom, 9. And it goes along like that. Obviously, you're looking at it and you're saying, probably somewhere in the middle it maybe ranges out, but there are some low ones like Irish Tommy, for example, with a 3, and there are some higher ones like Muddy with a 7. It probably balances out somewhere in the middle, but that's kind of where I think about it. This is a game where there are plus points, and there are games when there are lower points. Great minds, Ian. Great minds. And I'm kind of fine with that. One of the things that makes me interested, I mean, Gonzo asked Geo how he felt about the game, and he was like, I'm not fussed, but also I'm excited. That's kind of where I'm at, you know? I want to see good performances. I'm interested in the individuals, but I can't act like the result is going to annoy me too much. As long as we put in a good performance, that's fine by me. That's fine by me, right? 12 strong. I like Bailey's 8. Says old Greg. Good to see you, sir. 7. No Tony, no part. Well, this is the other thing, right? When you look at the Brentford side, obviously it's almost as strong as they could possibly be, barring Ivan Toney. You've got Raya in goal, Hickey, Pinnock, me, and Rico Henry in defence. Janelt, Janssen, and Damsgaard in midfield with Mbemo, Sade, and Wissa up front in the 4-3-3. Their bench: Cox, De Silva, Zanka, Godos, Onyeka, Aya, Baptiste, Roslev, and Stevens. It's a strong team, but without Ivan Toney, it does seem less scary up front, doesn't it? It really does. And I mean, I think we saw, as far as I remember, I think we saw Sade either come on against us or start against us. It might have been in the cup game. You know, I feel like personally, I don't remember him doing much. Wissa, he scored against us before previously and has shown good ability, but isn't anywhere near Ivan Toney standards. You know, I'm not too. That front line is giving me hope that they won't score a lot. And at that point, when you're talking about score predictions, that's where you have to go, right? The way I always think about it is, how many times do I think they're going to score? How many times do I think we're going to score? That sort of plays into that quite a lot. There are bells available, but I suspect we won't be calling for them. However, they are available if we need them. Papa further asks, where are the radio stations? Well, Papa, I'm glad you asked. If you are looking for a way to keep up with the game, I would highly suggest you scroll down to the link in the description below called Join Our Discord. It's a lovely Hams Chat West Ham community. Fans of all clubs are welcome. However, if you scroll down on the left-hand side, there's a bit called Stream Links, which will find what you're looking for. What if we batter them with this team? David, it's a great question that I don't know the answer to. I've got no idea. What if we batter them? What if? Let's get really beyond ourselves and just deep that for a second. What if this second string West Ham side, right? And it is undoubtedly second string. I don't think we have to beat around the bush there. Batter them. Now, it won't happen. But then again, I would have said, I would say we've probably got no chance of battering anyone because of the style of football we play, right? But I was thinking back to the Bournemouth game last night. I was thinking back to the Bournemouth game, remembering that. We've got it in us, apparently, to batter someone. Who knows? Who knows? What if? You know? I don't know. Judas, my trustworthy friend, good to see you. I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Sumo, good to see you as well. Yeah, no Tony. Don't know why. He's just not there. I literally have got no clue why. Good to see you, Chuck, as well. Hope you're well, sir. Hope you're good. And then Tristan Post is saying 6. Brentford has our number, unfortunately. It's probably where I'm at. Let's talk about Sub Bingo, shall we? Sub Bingo is, of course, the game where we predict that David Moyes will make his first substitution. You don't have to tell me who it is, although I will have the players scrolling along the bottom of the screen just to give it a little bit of extra sauce if you want it. Only the time counts, though. I'm going to say 69 as per usual. And realistically, it's a difficult one. I would suspect he'd want to rest most of them. I'm going to say Mubama for Ings. I've got a really good feeling he's going to get some game time today. I don't know why. I probably shouldn't. If we're being truly honest about it, I probably should not say Mubama things. But screw it. We're going to do it. We're going wild today. We're going off-road. Why not? Tonky saying, would love to see Mubama play today. Such a promising youngster. Strongly agree. I mean, if I'm in charge, I'd start him over Ings, for being honest about it, because I think he suits the Mikel Antonio mold significantly better. But even then, I'm not. I would just want to see him get out of game time. Goal of the season incoming from Lanzini, says old Greg. Bold. I could see it. I was thinking about the Tottenham one as well. I was thinking about that Tottenham screamer as well. I don't know why these things were floating around in the back of my head last night as I was sat here editing. I don't know why. I'm just thinking about past glories. Past great times, you know what I mean? I need a shave. No one expected us to beat them 4-0 away, did they? Exactly why I think we beat these 3-1 today. Dean, coming up with the confidence. Where's Cornet playing? Better not be a striker. I mean, realistically, he could be playing a front two, I guess, but I would suspect it would be 4-3-3. I think it will be the exact 4-3-3 that we've been playing for the rest of the games, except the the individuals in it will be moved around. I would suspect it would be Fornals on one side, Cornet on the other, Danny Ings down the middle. Which side? Don't know. But that's my bet. That's my bet. How's North Idaho? Well, thank you, Alex. It's nice. It's snowy today. Snowy as per usual. So the connection will be slightly weak. I do have a timer in the top corner, which will let you know exactly how far behind you I am, because you have the delay to North Idaho, and then you have the YouTube delay and all that sort of stuff. So there will be a bit. So that will tell you how far behind you I actually will be. But it's nice. The snow does increase the delay. It does increase the delay up here in Boners Ferry. Not bad, Louise. I've got a more blocked up nose today. You might be able to tell. My nose is beginning to get more blocked again. I don't know why. Last couple of days, it's been stepping up a gear. Me and my girlfriend booked a trip away. I think we're going. When is it? Not the week coming up. The week after that. And then instantaneously, we both got ill. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. Apart from that, I'm very happy. I'm vibing for this team. I'm excited to see how it goes. 65 minutes, as always, Ings from Muhammad. You'd love to see it. Toby's just saying me. It's just 71. Or he's just saying, 71 minutes, Charlie. Which is fair. That's fair. I just wish that Moyes had given Muhammad a chance for today's match. Look, I would have as well. I didn't expect it. HDU, stress. I mean, just because, stress for any other reason other than you don't want to see injuries. Not like the situation would be too stressed with that. Great to see Mubama get lots of games, but at the same time, stress. Realistically, right, I feel like he was never going to give him a chance. And actually, this is a good opportunity for him. The fact that Antonio is not on the bench at all means potentially he could get some good games down today. Like I say, I doubt it. I think Ings will stay on for as long as humanly possible. However, realistically, he could get some game time here. And I think that's the best case scenario, is not having anyone else on that bench. When you look at the bench, right, you could maybe make an Ben Rama playing centrally, I guess. Outside of that, there's no one really. Bowen and Ben Rama, you could make an argument for. Maybe you bring one of those on for, say, Ings, you shift Cornet up front or something. But realistically, they're first-choice players you're resting for Thursday. So the likelihood of you wanting to play them is lower. I think there's a good opportunity and a good chance, potentially, that we see Mubama today. Will it happen? I don't know. Where does Ings fit in next season, or doesn't he? Can't afford to have a 120 grand a week player constantly sitting on the bench. I think we can afford it. Now we're definitely in the Premier League, and especially if we get Europe, we probably can afford it quite easily. Where does he fit though? Depends. I mean, this will be conversations that run throughout the summer. My gut says he doesn't fit anywhere, but he also won't leave in the summer. If we change manager, then maybe you see a formation change and a tactics change and a style change, which will suit him more. Realistically, again, I don't see it happening. So I don't know. Is Frankie. We'll probably have many conversations about it in the summer. I suspect you'll see many a video with Danny Ings in the thumbnail and maybe David Moyes like this or something like that. It'll be some nonsense like that. I'll cook up. Good to see you, Richard. I hope you're well, sir. Where's Ocaflex nowadays? Just existing. We brought him back off loan, didn't we? And he's just sat not playing for any of the teams. So don't know. Fairly confident today, says Shay. Team brings back memories of the past few years. Teams, all the players that will play their hearts and give it on the team. Yeah, that's a great point. Actually, is that a lot of these people were first choice for a long time. I mean, if you're looking at the 11, Fabianski obviously been first choice for a long time. Ogbonna been first choice for a long time. Johnson was for a period first choice. Souček been first choice for a long time. Fornals was first choice for a long time. Lanzini was first choice for a long time. There's some key players there who were instrumental in us getting to Europe in the first place, let alone staying there for a season. So in that sense, it's not as weak as it feels, even though we have changed pretty much everyone. Wayne has gone for a shock Ings hat-trick, which is unbelievably bold. I like it, though. Paul saying 2-0 Brentford. It is now time to get those score predictions in. No more flippy, floppy nonsense. You have to remember, of course, that we've spoken about this for an hour. We've spoken about both the lineups. We've spoken about the subs benches. We've spoken about potential subs. We've spoken about implications for Europe and game time and everything else and everything just in between. We've discussed it all, ladies and gentlemen. So now We have to put our necks on the line. No more flipping, no more flopping, no more nothing else. We time to lock those score predictions in. I started fumbling over my words, so I thought what I would do was compensate for it by enunciating everything in the most insane way possible, just going for it. Yeah, no, I don't think it was worth it. He's back. He's back. He's just Peter saying he's had a few minutes. He's just not existing right now. I don't know. Is the truth, unfortunately. I mean, again, we're in an interesting position with those because there's a very talented group of under 18s that we get spoken about all the time, potentially coming through, potentially need to get game time. You want to move them up. It's going to be interesting to see where a lot of those players end up in the summer. Will we see loans for some of them? Will we see them get game time in the PL2? There's lots of different questions to ask in that scenario, and Okafex is just one of a myriad of them, realistically, you know. And who knows what the answer will be. D saying 2-2, Artel 2-2, 1-1, 2-2, 2-1 Brentford, 2-1 to the mighty Hammers. West Ham will win 3-2, 2-0 Hammers, 4-2 Hammers, 3-2 Hammers, 3-0 Irons. Flipping heck. Would be happy with a point and no injuries, says Joshua. I haven't even thought really about the injuries properly, but yes, very much so, yes. Robin saying 2-2. Ada, good to see you, sir. Wishful thinking with a 1-1, 1-1. 2-0 today, but no fricks given, says each and everything. 3-1 to the Hammers, 2-2, 3-1, 3-2. I'll have a little look at that, Dean. Of course, I was listening to the latest mix over on your Mixcloud, which you can find on Dean's Twitter, Dean R. Marsh. Did I get it wrong? Did I get it right? I always forget. Last night, which was very good. That accompanied me for a long period of time when I was editing last night. So thank you very much for that. It was much needed, drove me through. 1-1 draw would be a cheeky win. Would be fantastic. 0-0. Deploy the flip-flops. No. We undeploy them. Take them off. Don't know what undeployment is. I don't know. Retirement? I don't know. But take them away. No more flip-flops. Graham saying a Cornet hat trick, which would be wild. Where am I at? I don't know. Honestly, I would probably put it at 2-0 Brentford. 2-0 or 3-0 Brentford is what's sort of floating around in the back of my head. Maybe 3-1 West Ham, but I'm not sure where we get a goal from today. With Danny Ings up front, that's always my concern. So I'm going to say 2-0 West Ham. I think that's the safer option, to be fair. We'll see what happens, and you will see with me, because the watch-along will get underway fully as the match kicks off in about 3 minutes' time. Remember, there is a timer at the top corner to say just how far behind you I am, but it's not being shown in the UK today, which is why I've flown over to North Idaho to watch the match, because it's not being shown in the UK just because of the way these things work. Who knows? What a stupid system we have. However, I'm looking in the wrong section. That's what I'm doing. I was trying to find this. I was looking in the wrong section. If you are looking for a way to keep up with today's game, there is a way. If you scroll down to the link in the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. Fans of all clubs welcome, but more importantly, on the left-hand side, if you see a bit there called Streamlinks, you will find what you're looking for. You'll be able to keep up with the game. You'll be able to listen to it. You'll be able to listen to the game via the radio links that are in the Discord, and you'll feel like it's very visual. It's very visual. Mate, Char is our god now. I am not interested in anything. Get anything out of your head. It's Char only now. Head empty, just Char. You know what I mean? Jason from West Ham Fan TV calls me Char, and the entire time he was in my head. Every time the crowd towards the end are just chanting Char. In my head, I'm thinking, I hope Jason's all right. It's a thing. 1-0 West Ham. Lanzini will be in he's got it in him. I would say, is it 2-0 yet? Not quite yet. I don't know. I think it could happen. I think we could see, the more people say the words Lanzini banger, Lanzini worldie, Lanzini screamer, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, it could happen. Let's get it in there. Let's see what happens. Don't know why. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be, but he does have it in him. He does have it in his locker, you know? Anyway, we'll be underway relatively soon in the Brentford Community Stadium, as it's called. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called, isn't it? The Brentford Community Stadium or something like that. And I can't act like there is a part of me that's nervous, right? There is a part of me that is a bit concerned. But realistically, see, England by narrowboat is kind of where I'm at. I'm sort of somewhere in the middle, and I don't know where to land, because I am sort of nervous because we are facing a team who are better than us, who are consistently outdo us, who the only time we've beat was, it was what it was. And then there was the preseason game, I guess, which I don't really include. But in competitive fixtures, they tend to just sort of blast us away. So I don't know how I don't know where I'm at. I'm nervous, but I'm just excited. I'm just excited trying to talk it into existence. Yeah, let's just all meditate on it for a while, and hopefully it will come. Yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to see the players that we don't usually get to see. I'm excited to see West Ham play, and I'm excited for you all to be joining me. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we did a West Ham fan channel. We did a watch along every single game last season without fail. We were here. Consistency is key. And while you're down there, hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos, because we will be live, of course, on Thursday for the Europa Conference League semi-final second leg clash away in Alkmaar. We will be here doing a watch along. So if you're looking for a way to keep up with the game, or listen to it, then there are definitely ways you could do it on Thursday if you stick around here. And like the video while you're down there as well. I mean, we've flown through on all that. We're almost at 400. I'll be honest with you. We've got 4 more to go till we hit 400 before kickoff, which is madness. We never see that. We never see the likes of it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to be underway. Where she could see 2-1. Anyone got stream link? Jack, I will tell you there are definitely ways you can watch it in places. But if you don't want to join that, then it's kicked off at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's Brentford versus West Ham United in the Premier League. West Ham with some players on the pitch. Brentford without Ivan Toney. What an exciting fixture for the neutral. I can't wait. Lanzini and Ings with all the tattoos looking. They do have a lot of them. I didn't really think about that with Danny Ings until he joined, and then you see pictures of him, the kit and stuff, and I was like, he does have a lot. I respect him. Thank you. I mean, my postman does not always deliver, to be fair, but I'll take it. Gladly. Thank you, Richard. Big ball over top, early doors from Brentford down the left-hand side. He's done well there. And again, just easily sees that one out to the goalkeeper. There was an awkward touch from Sharda there. Couldn't quite find the control. Here's what I'm hearing, I think. So Sharda playing on the left, and Wissa looks like he's playing down the middle. I would have probably, I don't know, for some reason, I would have expected them to be flipped around. But that seems to be how it is at the moment. They're number 9. I can't remember where they bought him from. It's somewhere in Germany, I think. It's on the left-hand side today. Good test for Ben Johnson. I like Ben Johnson. I know that's a controversial thing to say these days. I know people aren't keen on him at the moment, but I like him. I can't lie. I think Ben Johnson's a good footballer, and I'm really happy he's in the team. And I want to see him get some game time and prove that he is as good as he has seemed at some points this season. Not that it happens frequently, but I'm glad to see him get game time. It's going to be a difficult afternoon for him. Probably going to be asked to do a lot going forward and a lot going back, but hopefully it'll go well for him. I'm interested to see sort of as the game progresses and we move, and we sort of have any sort of attacking movements. Who's on the left and who's on the right? Trying to sort of scan now. Who's that? Who's that running back? That's Pablo Fornals. Okay, so it does seem like Pablo Fornals is on the right and Maxwell Cornet is on the left, which is kind of what I would expect. Cornet getting a start. Wow, let's see something. Yeah, it's a huge opportunity for him. I was thinking we probably wouldn't see him properly until the preseason, where we'd get to see him actually bedded in without having an injury on his record and stuff. And we go, right, what are you what you're saying. He turns around there and just tries to lob it into the box. Doesn't quite work. It's gonna be a goal kick. But yeah, it'd be interested to see where he ends up. I would like to think this could be a really good opportunity for him to put his stamp on the team. Lee, my G, good to see you, sir. How are you? Hope you're well. Saw you predict a West Ham win on extra time. So what a good day that is. Subscribe to the Disabled Team if you haven't already. Smooth. I almost started singing it, but I realized that the nose is just not going to allow that. But oh my God, well, not that. I'm capable of doing it regardless. But Tom, that's big. I love it. Yeah, it's on Peacock. It's on Peacock, innit? I think maybe. Yeah, Peacock. That's definitely It's on Peacock. I'm just gonna keep saying Peacock. It's on Peacock. Oh, that's nicely done by Brentford down the right hand side. Coming forward, it's in Bemo. The North Idaho TV network has gone a bit vibey. For a second. Nothing happened. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Flynn Downs with a foul in the build-up. Just big foot coming across. It's going to be a corner to Brentford on the left-hand side. Yes, Peacock in it. Optus is Aussie. I didn't know that either, to be fair. I think someone's told me, but I don't remember. Played short. Brentford work it from a short corner. Try to find their way in. Flynn Downs as well to cover. Going to be another corner. I'll take it. Good to see you, Clips. Head empty. Just cha. Not interested in anything else. Whipped him towards the back stick from Brentford. Can't quite find it. Control from Fornals. Tries to just turn and hook it forward. Can't quite manage it. Brentford regain possession of the ball in the middle of the park. Looking to play their way forward. Who takes pens if we get one? It's a good question. I don't know. My gut would say Lanzini. Lanzini would probably be the best penalty taker out of all of them. Thomas Souček did take penalties for his former club. I don't know if you'd want him taking penalties, but he did. Yeah, Lanzini. I mean, but Danny Ings has to be capable of taking a pen, right? You'd imagine Danny Ings could lash home a pen. Surely. Again, trying to find their way forward. Brentford, that's a nice pass into Whistler in the centre. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day with the network. I can't lie. It's going to be a long day. It's going absolutely hog wild for me at the moment. Probably Lanzini. Yeah, you'd imagine, right? I don't mind him out wide. I know I'm in the minority. I would prefer to see him in the centre, though. I mean, I would much prefer him to see him in the centre, but I think there's some things to like about him out wide. Just outside the area, Brentford trying to play their way into the box. It's hooked in, looking for a good opportunity ahead. Oh, Jesus Christ. It just flashes wide. The header from Damsgaard was close. That was really well worked from Brentford, and they got an open opportunity in the box. It's Sharda out wide on this left-hand side, puts it onto his strong foot, puts it into a really nice position, just over the top of Aged, who's playing at right centre-back today. Flynn Downs trying to track Damsgaard. He's on the wrong side of him, and he rises and headers just wide. Fabianski gets caught out. That was a really strong opportunity for Brentford. Right? He has to score. He must be able to score from pens, right? Watching in a bar in Crete on my holiday. Ian, enjoy your holiday, sir. I hope you're having a grand old time, and I regret that you decided to choose spend some of it with us. But listen, I'm very grateful for it. I would just question your decisions. However, I hope you have a good holiday, mate. I really do. Yeah, I mean, Lanzini feels like the obvious one. That was the one when I looked at the team, even before Ings, he was the one who came straight to mind. But you'd imagine Ings has to do something, right? So you check with we'll call it a cross. We'll call it a cross. It was more just sort of a thumped kick of the ball, with not much thought to it. But he's just sort of power drove it into the box. And that's that's fine, isn't it? It is what it is. It is what it is. What was that, Suchek? It's a good question. It's a very good question. The answer is, who knows? Who knows? It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Crete is awesome. Go to Plague. I've never been to Crete. Then again, I've not been many places, to be fair, so it's not odd for me. Yeah. I know. We're getting caught in an infinite loop at the moment. You love to see it. And by love to see it, I mean, please. There you go. I think we're back out of it. Nope. We're not. It felt sort of like a bunch of different things, didn't it? It felt like a cross. Could have argued it was a shot if you really wanted to. He just sort of gave it a good old wallop, and it was like, we'll see what happens at the other end of it, sort of thing. And sometimes you just got to respect it. It's the sort of thing I would do. You get into that position, you just sort of go bosh, and whatever happens at the other end. And what happened was it went comfortably out of play. Lanzini lays the ball forward nicely to Danny Ings. Finds Flynn Downs, Thomas Souček, Lanzini. So 4 nows just linking up at the moment. Brentford equally decent defensively as us. They're not a bad side in that sense at all. Sort of one of the Cornet goes down screaming. I mean, he seems to be completely fine. But there was a large scream that came down as he sort of challenges in the air there was zero chance of him getting anything from it. I mean, I don't know what was going to happen there. He sort of goes, and then just sort of goes, oh. Doesn't go there. It's difficult to say because he has been here for such a long time at this stage. He's been here for what? Almost. When did he join? 2015, was it? I think it was 2015. So he's been here almost 8 years at this stage. He's a great player. It's just injuries. Injuries just took their toll on him. But I think he's such a good player. He's a great player to have in the squad. But equally, I wouldn't begrudge him the opportunity to leave if he wanted to. It's like that. He went up, right? And as he falls to the ground, yeah, 8 years. Welcome, Michael. Hello. Yes, I kind of agree. I'm not gonna lie. He's a difficult case to talk to in detail. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Lanzini's a great player to have around the squad, but I wouldn't begrudge him wanting to leave if he wanted to, because the truth is he's never going to start again for us. We've got Paquetá, who is basically a better version of him. So the chances of him playing consistently for us is basically zero at this point. So listen, if he wanted to leave, he wanted to go back to Argentina or anywhere else, literally, I'd be like, fair play, mate. You go and do your thing. I can't begrudge it at all. Despite the fact that I obviously wouldn't want it to happen, I would be like, yeah, fair enough. Because I love having him in the squad, and to have a player that technically gifted and capable on the bench and around the squad is super useful. I think he's a great player, and I think I'd love to see him stay, but I doubt he will. And that's fair enough. That's totally fair enough. Big boot forward. Emerson nods that one down. Looking for Mbemo. He's going to have a tough job today as well, Emerson. Mbemo, a really good winger. But on the ball and carrying it, he's poor. I mean, I think the truth is this is what I would say, JJ, and this is maybe harsh. I think he can pass the ball. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I've not really. I think I like some of his off the ball stuff in an attacking sense. I've quite liked, but when you're having to sit deep, there have been times where I've questioned his position. Oh, that's a nice ball out wide to Fornals on the right hand side. Lays it short into Lanzini. Nice flick for Danny Ings. Looking back for Lanzini. It was close, but I'll tell you what, something there doesn't quite work out. I think realistically, that when we played him in sort of that right wing role or whatever, when we have done in who was it? Was it Liverpool? He played him against, and I think in Europe he played in that sort of role. Not frequently, but he existed in that sort of role. I thought we did really well. And I liked us having someone who's going to harry in that position and work sort of with the press in there. I liked that off the ball stuff. But when we're sat deep and he's in that sort of position as a sort of sitter, anchor, defender, however you want to word it, not defender. Defender's the name of the things behind him, but you know what I mean. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Flynn Downs in the summer. Obviously, if Declan Rice does go, all of a sudden there's going to be a place up for grabs in the Premier League. I know we're going to go and buy someone, but realistically, that person's going to have to contest with Thomas Souček and Flynn Downs for defensive midfield positions, right? So there's going to be a position up for grabs in the summer, and we'll see what happens with him. I'm not convinced as of yet, is all I'll say. Great player to have in and around the squad, but as a starter, far from convinced is what I would say. Souček could be a striker. If we never tried him yet, I don't think we ever would, but screw it. Why not? Some games just put him up front and just belt the ball at him, especially towards the ends of games. Listen, again, that's what I was saying against your boys. West Ham pass it back to Fabianski. What are they? AZ Alkmaar. People were saying, well, maybe we should take him off, but just keep him on and bombard the ball into the box. They don't have to deal with it. And he's bloody massive. He'll get on the end of most of it. Just have a pop. Just lob the ball direct. Every time I fix the timer, that's when the TV network fails me. It's really annoying. Just bombard the ball at him, you know? And I think that's useful for other situations as well. Why not give it a shot sometimes? Would be the question I would ask. We never would, but you know. Wouldn't have been ideal, but what did you make? Is the important question. But would not have been ideal. It's time for Lanzini. Hopefully he has a good game today. He's doing okay so far. Johnson is a totally fine player. The hate is because of a couple of bad performances. Really unfair. He's barely played. That's kind of my opinion, E. I wouldn't say... It's difficult to say with Ben because obviously he did play a couple of poor matches, but at the beginning of the season, he was one of our more consistent performers. I mean, I like him. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's out of this world. But as a second choice right back, I'm very, very, very happy with Ben Johnson. Very happy with Ben Johnson. Peak Lanzini or Paqueta for me. Paqueta. Peak Lanzini was great, but we haven't seen peak Paqueta here yet. And hopefully that's where we see. Hopefully that's something we see going forward because we're starting to see him get better and better. But Pete Lanzini was freaking great, wasn't he? Our first season, man. Him and Payet together. Oh, so good. So good. Played out wide to the right-hand side. Ben Johnson on the ball. Plays it back to Thomas Souček. Spreads it out to Manuel Lanzini. We're just taking our time here. Lanzini trying to find some space going forward. We're just taking our time. Not really putting too much pressure on Brentford. Glenn Downs is not a great pass, if we're being honest about it. I mean, it's completed. Accuracy was fine, but it was just too slow and allows Brentford to press, and then all of a sudden, Brentford win the ball back. We win a throw from it. It was poor. Amanda, good to see you. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good day. How many pizzas today? There are none in the house, unfortunately, guys. But there were none in the house when the last stream started, and yet somehow I ended with 2. So maybe we hope that they will exist somehow. They would just magically appear. The chances are slim. My girlfriend is not out at a pizzeria, for example, today, like she was last time. So the chances are incredibly slim. I would go as far as to say they're nil. However, who knows? Who knows what might happen? He potentially could. Lanzini all blocked by the Brentford player who looks a little bit in pain. They're going to play it away, Brentford, casually. We're pushing in a good manner. doing well. Nicely done by Flynn Downs. Emerson trying to get the ball forward, can't quite manage it. But there's a lot of us here. We're stopping them from playing. Just a big hoof up the pitch from Brentford. And we regain control off the back of it. You love to see it. I don't know, Mark. I would suspect, well, it depends. If David Moyes stays, then I would suspect no. I would suspect no. However, if he goes, then I would suspect yes. But I don't know. I really don't know. It's. I don't know. I guess it depends whether he wants to stay in Torino in Italy or not, right? But who knows? Could be anything. Could be anything. If we get points from this, then job done and more. Yeah, I mean, we're safe. I'm very confident we're safe. To be honest with you, a point here would be beautiful. Would be a beautiful thing. I doubt it's going to happen. But yeah, a point here would be amazing. But I think I can't see anyone catching us at this point. Or I can't see, what I should say is I can't see 3 of the teams below us that aren't already relegated catching us, which I think is highly unlikely. Passing the ball around at the moment, Brentford calmly. It's a half tempo game, isn't it? I don't think either team are really trying to do anything crazy today. That's fair at the moment. No one's really blitzing it. We're not really going for all out gung ho attacking, all out gung ho defending, all out counter attacking. James Corden is depressingly it's not really a mega exciting game. But fair enough. You wouldn't expect it from 2 teams who are probably safe. Not creating much but good passing. Yeah. Doing better than I thought, says Fabianski. I mean, I'd hope you'd have faith in it, mate. You're in the team. I mean, I would put you in the A team, to be fair, but I'd hope you'd have faith in it. Oh, this is a great opportunity, and Mbemo hits it right as we say it. 1-0 to Brentford, and it's Mbemo with the goal. Right as we were making that joke as well. It's a solid finish. I mean, he came with all of the he had all of the space in the world, didn't he? All of the space in the world. It's played over to the right hand side where he is, and there's just no one even remotely close to him. And he's one-on-one with a goalkeeper, has time to pick out his space and just slots it beyond Fabianski. Poor passing at the back from us. Again, we're just putting again on the right centre back position, forces him into an awkward pass, and then Brentford have enough numbers to fly forward. Slotted home. So it's good slot home, to be fair. Just quick passing, rugby style, down across the pitch to Mbemo, who's 1v1 against Fabianski in the box, opens up his body, slots it home. Brentford 1, West Ham United 0. It's an easy goal. Poor mistake from the back from a few people. I mean, you put Near Figuered at right centre back. That's what you're going to get. Someone who looks a little bit uncomfortable, and there he has to find his. He has to open up his body to try and pass it into the middle, and it's just the options aren't already a hemmed-in situation on the right-hand side where there's few options anyway, and you're asking someone to pass it uncomfortably out. Poorly done, in my opinion, and all of a sudden, Brentford can get a goal instantaneously because they're quick on the counter-attack. They're flying forward again here. Mbemo, thankfully, his cross was wild. It's a good question, Steve. I don't know. He didn't seem anywhere. We'll see. I've got no idea. I'm sure we'll see the replay 5, 6, 7,000 more times, given the fact there's not a whole bunch going on in this game. But at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, but we won't get relegated, Fab. I'll be honest with you, mate. We're not going to get relegated. I know I'm well known, and by well known, I don't mean I'm well known, but I know I know people have a problem with how confident I get about certain things, like teams not scoring, for example, and being like, Charlie, can you please stop saying they're not going to score? Bro, this is one of those situations. I'm usually correct as well, to be fair. But no one will catch us. We will not get relegated. It requires 3 teams. It requires 3 teams below us to get more points than us, plus whatever it is. It's not going to happen. Frankly, it's just not going to happen. It's going to be a free kick to Brentford. Wide left on the right-hand side, almost by the touchline. Deep position. probably about 35 yards away, 40 yards away. So it's going to be a cross. It's lofted towards the back post. Wissa just tries to hook it back across goal. Ends up being played in. It's not a bad cross. Doesn't go anywhere. Back post picks it up, flicks it back across. Bonner just about gets ahead to it, knocks it away. Cornet short to Emerson, who thumps it clear. Forward it comes again. The control from Ben Johnson's all right. He gets pushed. There's no options for him at all down that our left hand side, whereas where the space was opening up from. There's no one there. Thankfully, we managed to keep possession of it after a little bit of work. Thank you for asking. My girlfriend bought me this mug. I don't know, maybe it must have been 10 years ago or something. It's one of my favorite characters from Mass Effect, Erdnot Rex. We're getting nerdy here. I apologize. It's Erdnot Rex from Mass Effect, with one of my favorite lines from him. Just because I like you doesn't mean I won't kill you. He's just a good lad, but my girlfriend bought it for me. Like, I mean, she designed it on some mug website. It must have been 8 years ago now, maybe longer, maybe more like 10. It's my mug. It's my mug. Well, one of many mugs I have, I guess. Fornell's trying to hold it. He does well to hold it up, to be fair. Desperate for options. He does pretty well to hold it up. Laid short to Cornet. Whips to whip it in. There's people in the centre. Hooked away from Brentford. Thomas Souček's going to battle for that header. In a deep position on the left-hand side. What I say deep. The North Idaho TV network goes down. See Jan out down as Lanzini chests the ball. He's still down at the moment, so I don't know what happened exactly, but yeah. JT, why? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Mate, we've been together since 2010. Since 2010. To be fair, we had a 2-year gap in the middle where we weren't together. But 2010, a 2.5-year gap. But 2010, mad, didn't it? Mad, didn't it? Just seeing the replay. It was a really nice finish from him, to be fair. Nothing difficult, but it's just one of those situations where, you know, it's easy to let the blood get to your head and just to your thigh or whatever and just absolutely spam it in a weird way. He just keeps calm and slots it home. It's fair. 1 or 2, yeah. Unbelievably, I've never finished Mass Effect 3. Loving the Mass Effect track. I've never finished it. I don't know how. I pre-ordered it. I've had it since launch. I've played it on like 4 different platforms and I've still never finished it. I'm going through Fallout 4 at the moment, and my plan is to go back and finish Mass Effect 3 finally. And then I will probably play Andromeda, but like a little bit after, because I think playing them in a row would probably be a bit too much. But yeah, I don't understand how I don't remember it. Weird how that works, Jasper. Weird how that works. You don't know. You don't remember Rex. Disgraceful behavior. Yeah, I think it's probably a bit harsh, Paul. I understand what you mean, though. I just think in general, it's just not a game where, you know, we're going full hog. I don't think anyone's going full hog either side. I think again, you have to remember we're facing Brentford here, a team we do not do well against in the current guys. And so I was never going to be Logan knows. I just can't see it was never going to go super all out as a ball from Lanzini. I think it deflects, but it's gone all the way to Johnson on the other side. Just a big pass. He's harried, but he does well, Johnson, to keep the ball there. Played out wide, and then we forced to go back again. They defend well. This is one of the things that make it difficult against Brentford, is they defend well as well. They hold their position well defensively, and you saw it there. Another team, we might have been able to find our way forward, and it doesn't help that we don't have, say, Sufal and Bowen on the right-hand side, because that method of attack is significantly different than it usually would be. But we got to a good position there where we'd usually create across Emerson, just running for it and taking a bit of a pointless shot at the end, but still. He does well to get into that position in the first place, I guess. But yeah, I feel like realistically, you know, we get out to that position and usually we'd be able to create a crossing opportunity and create something on that. instantly we're forced backwards because Brentford are in good defensive positions. They hold it well. They've reduced those options. And to be fair, when you've got reduced options anyway with Papa Flores and Ben Johnson, it's not going to be great for us. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Mad Titan, you're in for a good time. You're in for a good time, to be fair. It's one of the Brentford players is down currently. It's Ben Mee. Not sure what happened, but he seems to be, I don't know, something with thigh or something. You're in for a good time. Mass Effect 1 is janky, but really, really good. Mass Effect 2 is just an all-timer. An all-timer Mass Effect 2, in my opinion. Where are you at? Relatively near the beginning. I've played it. This is my third time playing it. The first time, when it first came out, and I just didn't connect with me for some reason, I stopped playing it. Second time was about a year and a half ago or something like that. I got really into it, but then I just couldn't go further in the main quest because of a really annoying bug. You had to speak to a specific character, and they just wouldn't speak to me for some reason. And so I was like, do you know what? I could play the rest of the game and just play around this, but I can't be asked. So I just bunned it off. This time I've got past that point. Or I've spoken to that character earlier, so it should be fine. So we'll see. But I'm still relatively early. I have not met Nick Valentine yet. That early sort of idea, if that makes sense. I know, it's quite nice, isn't it? It's quite nice, Alex, just being able to sit here and go, it's like fine. Like I want us to do well, but like, you know. Oh, huge. I had to stop playing Skyrim because the spiders were too scary. And then I've tried to mod them out a couple of times, and then I do, and then I play it for a while, and I get distracted, and then I do something else. One day in my life, I'll probably go back to it. But game came out 2011, November, I think it was. It was 11th November 2011, wasn't it? Got it. Took it home. Big spiders in the intro tutorial. I'm like, fine, okay, we get through that. Then you go to whatever that place is called, Bleak Falls Barrow, is that what it's called? I think maybe. Just giant spider, just even bigger. And I was like, all right, well, you know, it is what it is. Codsworth's good. At the moment, I'm bopping about a pipe. To be fair, we'll see what happens. We'll see where it ends up. But I do like Codsworth. I also just like having the dog. It's just quite nice. Not as useful, but it's just quite nice. So you can get the perks to upgrade him, I guess. Brentford passing it around. Now the game's back underway. Pinged forward. And straight into the hands of Fabianski. That was a bold pass forward from their centre back there. Looking for the space. Can't really make it happen. Not really convinced about. Again, got too many mistakes and it's cost us a few this season. West Ham being forced back again to Fabianski. I don't think that's necessarily harsh. I think realistically, he's probably not been as good as I wanted him to be. I feel like he's a good player, and I see a lot of really good things in him. It's just realistically, there's been quite a few performances where I've been less than buzzing about it. Hooked away is going to be throw into Brentford about the halfway line. Yeah, there's just been a few too many performances where I'm just not super buzzing about it. I am convinced he will come good, and like today, playing on the wrong side, not useful. And I don't particularly blame him for the goal. I think there's a lot of other problems in that than just him today. But yeah, I don't think that's necessarily unfair. Poor pass from Hickey out wide. It's the right-hand side. It's going to be thrown to us. Gary, good to see you. I don't know. I don't blame Fabianski too much for the one today, personally. I'm looking at it, I'm saying it was a 1v1 opportunity. He has to sort of cover his angles. It's the way it happens, isn't it? I mean, I want to see the replay again to really like fully come to grips with it. But personally, When Eastside, we're not, mate. I promise you, we're not. Eastside, if we get relegated, you can come back to me and call me whatever name you want, and I will accept it. I will accept it. I'm very confident about it. But yeah, in that situation, you're 1v1. It's a very, very difficult thing for a goalkeeper to do. Ario was a different one. But here, I need to see the replay again before I confirm that properly. But that's the way it felt. Hickey comes forward. Whistle hits it. Good save, Fabianski, that time. It was a good hit. It was a good hit as well. Big time. I spent so long doing it as well. Like an inordinate amount of time. It's nice again, quick passing from Brentford. They have runners from deep that move forward, and Wissa ends up hitting it in the centre of the park. He strikes it hard and low. It's a difficult position for Fabianski to get down to quick enough, but he does it comfortably and well. Again, just having to hook it with his weak foot forward. It's almost like there's a reason you don't put him there. You should definitely give it a shot, dude. If you like, Mass Effect is really, really good. It's like, I'm realizing now how Star Trek it is because I've just recently started to watch Star Trek for the first time in my life, and I'm realizing now, like, there's a Mass Effects. There's a lot of Star Trek in Mass Effect. There's a lot of Mass Effects in Star Trek, I should probably say. Or no, whichever way around is the correct way. I don't care. The point is, it bangs. Skip Preston Garvey. He's a good lad. He just has way too much. It gives you a laser musket. I'm here for that. But you know, he does tell you about people who constantly need help and that sort of stress. We're not attacking well enough here. We're on the ball again here, and we're being forced back. I mean, Brentford are doing it well. I mean, there's two things to say about it. The first thing is that Brentford are playing better than us, right? And they're not playing particularly brilliantly, but they're just comfortable in what they're doing and what they're trying to make happen, and it's working well for them, right? Fair play. It is what it is. I thought it was pretty good. It's not the best Watch Dogs game, but I think it's pretty good. And it's nice running around London. And then you just take over being an old lady and just batter someone. It's great. It just doesn't feel... Mbemo scored for them. It just doesn't feel... I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Brentford are doing well, but they aren't at top level by any stretch of the imagination. And we are playing a level below where we can play. We're playing at a sort of... If you're saying a 5 is a usual performance, if you're saying a 5 is like, that is a standard, you're doing all right performance, we're probably at 4 and they're probably at like a 6.5. It's nowhere close to what you'd want, right? And that gap is not that big. It's the competency gap that's enough. And actually what Brentford are doing well is when they're defending, they're getting into strong positions and their pressing is going well. They're setting traps. They're hemming us in, not allowing us to play anything really. And we're struggling to get into any sort of decent positions. We did a couple of times at the beginning of the game, but for the last however long, 20 minutes or whatever, we've basically not got into any decent positions whatsoever. And then they've done well in the forward areas, doing the exact same thing, stopping us and forcing the ball into awkward situations, which is what causes the goal. And going forward, it's going to be a corner to them, whipped in from the left-hand side, nodded away from Angelo Bonner. Good header away as well. Rico Henry somehow manages to get around Lanzini via falling over there. Crossing is deflected. They're in the box. Shada hits it, thankfully, wide. It's going to be a goal kick. And in an offensive sense, when they come forward, when they have the opportunity, we've tried to boot that ball forward quickly for Pablo Fornals and instantly lost out. It's going to be a throw-in. Just a waste. They support themselves very well. So you have runners from deep, you have midfielders who come flying in. That creates space, that creates a lot of opportunities for them. And again, is exactly how they created their goal. All of a sudden, they had massive numbers of runners, just bang, 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 which is really good. When they're deeper and they're passing it around, they're not creating like in abundance. It's not a scary amount. But defensively, we aren't on point enough to stop that from being a thing, personally, I don't know. It's just sort of, we're just sort of there. It's essentially what we would expect. Neither team are going full force, full hog in this game. And Brentford look more competent than we do. That's exactly what I would have expected in this game. Manchester City are 1-0 up. You love to see it. Right? Yeah, Ben. They're defending well, and we haven't got the answers that we usually have to just basically pumping it into the box. You know, Well, thank you very much, Football Way. It's very kind of you. Havershotstore.com is, of course, the address, but thank you. It's very kind of you. What you buy? What are you excited to see? Yeah, they're struggling big time at the moment. I don't know what's going to happen with them. I mean, there's a couple of... I mean, the games industry is in a quite weird space at the moment because games take so long to make. And so the AAA space is just sort of like... The AAA space is just sort of going through its own motions. Like, Sony have their act together, but they're like less inventive than they once were, but they have their act together in that, you know, they craft very, very, very good games. You can rely on that. Although they're all lofted into the box, headed away, not comfortably, shot blocked from, I think, Brentford's own player. Try to hook it away, and again, Brentford have the ball. Played out wide to the left-hand side. It's Damsgaard. Lays it short, pumped in from Rico Henry. No one can get there. This is not the best game of football you're ever going to see in your life. In BREWHU, wide on the right-hand side now. They're just passing it around Brentford, looking to try and find their way into the box. We're in full-out defensive mode, but the shape is nowhere near as strong as it usually is. Rico Henry goes for a shot. Filling down, charges out, blocks it, and then Ben Johnson slipping manages to at least prevent a corner. Yeah, I think it's an interesting space because AAA games take such a long time to make. The big games take such a long time to make that you have to course correct a ship that is, you know, it's like trying to turn the Titanic. It's very, very difficult. And so it's a weird position, and Ubisoft are sort of in a period of change, I would suggest. I think they need to change the way they do things. But yeah. Will they? I don't know. I mean, what they've decided to do with Assassin's Creed suggests that they probably will. Personally. But I don't know if that will come to pass, as it were. Brentford have got a throw on the left-hand side after all of that. The North Idaho TV network is struggling. Oh my God, Fabianski with the save. Oh my God, it's all happening. I've come back and it's all kicking off. It's all kicking off. I don't think there's been a goal. It's just stopped on the line. Fabianski flipping it. It's all gone a bit mad. I came back and then all of a sudden the ball was in the box and what's happened? I don't know what's happened. I can't see. All I can see is Fabianski at full stretch. Ogbono's literally vertical and in the air. It's going to be a corner to Brentford, I think, from a block. Jesus Christ, it was all hands defending there. All hands defending. My audio is significantly ahead of where my video is at the moment. Cross it in, header. Over, it's going to be a goal kick, thankfully. It's going to be a goal kick, thankfully. Header shots. Yes, one. One? The Emerson one? We might have had another, I think. Not sure. I mean, you can find, there's a lot of options on there, a lot of good options. I haven't played it yet. I really want to, though. I really, really want to. It'll have to do a lot, in terms of superhero games, it'll have to do a lot to beat recently Spider-Man. Miles Morales is really good as well, but Spider-Man is excellent. And Batman, the Arkham series. Specifically, Arkham Asylum, I think, is the best one, but also, Arkham City is very good. And I think Arkham Knight is very good, although it has its issues. But it would have to do a lot to beat the first two Arkham games and the first Spider-Man game, although I've heard very good things and I really want to. I have it. Yes, although I haven't played the first one. I need to play the first one. I've got it downloaded on my PlayStation at the moment to play at some point. I need to get it. I need to get into it. I want to. How badly. Bemo does well just to control that one down. Brentford come flying forward again. They're just sort of lining up at this point, Brentford. It feels like they're sort of all over it, crossing. It's a block from Angelo Ogbonna. It's going to be a throw into Brentford. They're creating chances a lot more frequently. Again, it came down that right-hand side. I just did not see Emerson anywhere. I don't know where he was. Ogbonna got the block. I'm not sure where he'd gone again. Missionary. How are you finding it? I've heard not great things. I've heard not great things at all. You know, but vibes. Arcane are great, to be fair, but I've just not heard great things about it. Long throw in, nodded on, header. 2-0. 2-0 Brentford. Whistle with the goal. Easy as you like as well. Just a long throw in the ball into the area. Again, it just feels like it feels like a competency issue to some extent. They just feel like they're more competent than us right now. It's really annoying. It's really, really annoying. There's a long throw into the. They get the opportunity because they just barrel forward, and we can't really do anything about it. And then long throw into the box, nodded on, and Weiss is just there. Nods it inside the 6-yard box. Easy as you like. Easy as you like. Poor. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about it, to be honest. It's a really bloody hell. We almost scored straight away. We almost scored straight away. Danny Ings up the other end. I don't know how that's happened. We came barreling forward down the left-hand side. Danny Ings fighting for it. So you got fair play and hits it, and it's a save from Ray, who's had basically nothing to do the entire game. Forces a save out of him, and it's going to be a corner to West Ham out of nowhere. Flipping it, that happened really quickly. Pablo Fornals to take on the left-hand side. You know, when it hits first man and we all go, oh, why can't we cross past the first man? The good news is it didn't hit the first man. The bad news is it went straight out of play for a goal kick. Now, before the front post as well. Now, look, here's the thing. It didn't hit the first man. It just feels they just feel more competent than us, you know? Both goals are like both goals were way too simple. I saw someone asking, where is it? Let me see if I can find it. Coming forward in the meantime, Brentford whips it across to the left-hand side. Sharda cuts inside, looking for a shot on his right. He was lining it up twice. Doesn't get there. Mbemo cuts inside. Stopped away, shot from range, dragged wide from, not sure, Hickey. They come forward here, Sade. Looks to try and take a shot, can't make it. And Mbemba looks to try and take a shot again, can't make it. Cornet just like gets the ball away, just gets it away from a stretched out foot. And a first time shot from Hickey drags it wide. I can't find it, but the question about basically, does this worry you at all? Not really, if I'm being honest. My one thing is I wanted to see a good performance. I didn't really care what the score was. I didn't really care what the score was. I just wanted to see a good performance because I wanted to see us continue with some form of good form, so to speak, going into we've had one shot on target, according to Oracle. I think we've had 2 shots in my head because we had the Emerson one and the Ings one. So compared to their 13 shots and 6 on target. So, you know, I feel like realistically, like it was just the level of performance that was my concern, because I wanted to keep us have some form of good form, as it were, going into Thursday night. And there was a lot of players here who were something to get for. I never felt like the result was going to be ours ever, because Brentford, we could put our strongest team out against Brentford. I still wouldn't be convinced we would get a result against Brentford because it's just not what happens with us right now. It just doesn't fit. It just doesn't suit at all. It just is the way it is, right? Sometimes these things happen. You come up against certain teams that you just can't beat. Brentford are one of those. However, the competency has been low for me today. Both of their goals have been really, really easy, really simple. One was just a long throw, nodded on, bang, goal. The other one was them pressing relatively well and doing relatively well, and all of a sudden the game opens up, bang, 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 goal. And that's my concern. I don't want the win to be completely knocked out of us. There are very, very few of these players will play on Thursday. Certainly feels like even less of them now after this result, or how this is going so far, I should say. So I'm not too concerned in that sense. I think Thursday will be a different game. And again, it's not like the team talk for Thursday writes itself already. You know, you're gonna have to pick them up for the. You're gonna have to pick them up from the doldrums, so to speak, and go right. You're gonna have to on training in the sessions in between. That's going to be where the motivation comes. But actually, the team talk on Thursday is very simple. You have the opportunity to create history here. Go out and do it. And it'll be a different side. But I'm not concerned about it. I'm just not thrilled about it. But the score was never that important to me. It's the performance that's my worry, and we're being very, very comfortably outdone. And Brentford can come forward again after creating a bit of space down the right-hand side. Emerson is back this time. Again, smart run, just allowing them space to play the ball around Brentford. Yanalt looks to hook it across. Wasn't a great ball, but Rico Henry gets the control regardless of the other side anyway. There is the halftime whistle. Full time, Jesus Christ. I wish. It's 2-0 to Brentford at halftime. Oh, it's going to be a long day, man. It's going to be a long day. Brentford have been comfortably better than us. I don't think there's been any sense of doubt about that. I think realistically, Geo, when you look at it, we have no answers to the questions they're asking, and actually we're asking practically none at the other end. I think we're just existing, and
mate, it's exactly what I expected. It feels like a pre-season friendly for both teams. This is their first 11 bar Fabianski and Aguirre. This is our second 11, and it looks like that.
I don't know. It's worse than I expected. Just because we have so little. I wasn't expecting us to. I said 2-0 was my score prediction, right? So clearly, I wasn't expecting us to rock up and score. I was even considering 3-0 to Brentford. I wasn't expecting us to rock up and score or to play them off the park or anything like that. But I was expecting us to have something, and there's just nothing. Like, we get up to the other end, we take too long getting there. When we get there, they are a fairly good team defending anyway, and they knock us out, but we don't even find the crosses that we usually find. We don't find anything. Yeah,
but Charlie, this is a consequence of not playing these players. They're not getting any minutes, and then you put them in a team, they're not going to do anything. You look at Wissa, who's having a good game, got a goal. He's constantly coming off the bench for Brentford. He's racking up enough minutes over the course of a season, and you can see it. That's Lanzini's second start in the Premier League this season. It's match day. It's match day 36. It's his second start.
I don't disagree with you. I think that's a fair point. What I would say, though, is there have been chances where we could have crossed the ball in and just don't.
Yeah, lack of confidence. Safety, they're all just passing it safe. Every time we get it, pass. Sideways, backwards, until we either run out of room or someone gives it away. There's no confidence in that team whatsoever. There's nothing. They're all, the only player that's actually, there's two players out there that's actually got a little bit, is Lanzini and Ings. I think Lanzini's actually having quite a good game. I'm actually quite enjoying Lanzini today. I think some of his passes have been brilliant. I think his touches have been brilliant. Mm-hmm. I think Ings has done one or two things. That back heel to Lanzini was good, but then the other side of it, that time he tried to return, he should have done better. Fornals might as well just not be on the pitch. Souček is getting exposed because he's getting plenty of time on the ball, and it actually makes him look bad. Because he's got 5 touches and he still doesn't do anything with it, and it sort of exploits him. Ben Johnson's having a poor game at right back. Going forward, his position is really poor. Defensively, Shad, within the first 2 minutes, it was just a throw over the top of his head. He was out the game completely. Agard has done an incredibly identical mistake to what he did at Crystal Palace with a hospital pass into midfield. Emerson's done okay, I suppose, but this is the consequence of just not playing these players. I think it's just, you can tell it's our B team for various reasons.
And like I said, I was expecting them to just beat us anyway. It's Brentford. I shouldn't be able to say that. I shouldn't, as West Ham United in the Premier League, turn around and say Brentford, who've been in the league for a couple of years, and go, Yeah, it's Brentford. They're bound to beat us, but we know we can't beat them. We're really incapable of beating Brentford. So I'm not entirely shocked, but I am disappointed that the performance levels have been so low. Like I said, I'm not. That's not to say there aren't reasons for it, but I do just look at it and go.
All the boys are doing is justifying why Moyes hasn't played them more this season.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Not one player am I watching thinking, oh, what a waste we haven't seen this player more often. I'm not thinking that at all about anyone, really. Yeah, Brentford are ahead. To be honest with you, I would have liked to have seen a bit more from us in terms of an attitude, but this is what I expected. So when something happens and you know it's going to happen, there's only so much annoyance you can get, really. It's pre-season time. Thursday's a bigger game for us. I expect certain players to demonstrate that, but they're all sat on the bench. I don't expect the ones on the pitch to showcase that, because I'm looking at them thinking, well, you're not going to be involved in Thursday. What's your reasoning for not bothering?
Yeah, fair. All right, well, I shall be back in a moment. Enjoy yourselves, everyone.
Thank you, Charlie. Let's see what you're all saying. Paul says Johnson is getting burned. He's done. It'll be a heavy loss if we don't make a few changes. Downs could be on the goal line, pass backwards, says James. Many said he's made some good saves, but Fabianski made an identical mistake to Ariel on Thursday, who people want binned off the second leg. 5 says lack of confidence due to professional football players are up to the task. Johnson's, yeah, well, it's still a lack of confidence still. I think it's a thing. It's a thing. I agree with Josh. I think Lanzini's played well. I think he's having a good game. Nice and tidy footballer. Greg said not having a guard over Ogbonna. Slimface says this has proven Moyes' decision to field a tired team over this bunch. Mancunian says if Moyes plays a guard on Thursday and costs us a little mistake, then that's on him. The one thing I will say is, actually, I am justifying saying this because I asked Anton Ferdinand about it, who was a Premier League centre-back. And because Aguero's playing on the right, I think it throws him out completely. That's the second time he's done the same mistake now, where he's facing infield with his left foot. If he was right-footed, he possibly goes down the line with that pass rather than into the middle of the pitch. But he's done the same mistake twice now, so it's a bit concerning. Brad said, I can see why he doesn't rotate. We only have 11 players worthy of selecting. Sean says, our press is so poor, it's laughable. Wrestling Channel say you think they'd want to play themselves into a European semi-final. I guess there's a lack of faith. We joked about it at the start. Someone says Downs can be man of match today and still not start. Someone joked and said, I'm really looking forward to this 11 impressing and getting their place on the bench for Thursday. And while it was funny, and it was funny, it's true at the same time. Cornet could be man of match today and he still won't start Thursday. So I appreciate what you're saying. Try to play themselves into the team, but they're not stupid. They'll also know that they're not getting into that team on Thursday, regardless of what they do tonight. But Chris says the team are pissed for Moyes. They can't be bothered. Minnie also thinks Manu's been our best player. Dean says not too worried, but Aguero's form is scary. Moyes will take a 2-1 happily. Moyes will take a 2-0, Dean. If we could finish, if we could go full time now, Moyes would grab your hands for it. Mr. Bones says Brentford have only lost twice at home and we have a mix and mash team. Expecting anything is more than hoping it. I agree. I was surprised at how optimistic the live chat were before the game, but including Gonzo in that one. Gunter said, I can see why Down doesn't get much time. More worried about his pass completion, constant sideways and backwards, nothing going forward. 1999 says, Kone stealing a living, get Mubama and Ben Rama on and give the fans something to get off their seats for. I don't mind losing the game, but I thought the players who don't play would put in more effort. I agree with that, really. Stephen said a throw-in again. Yep, 3 goals conceded against Brentford this season from throw-ins. Gaz says, please don't bring on... I'm like this, okay? I'm like Gaz here. I don't want... They were talking about how Declan Rice is warming up to possibly come on. Please don't. Just... I know we need to keep the score down, like GW said, but Brentford... Words could come back to haunt me. I don't think Brentford are the type of team to go for 5-0. I think they'll be happy with 2-0. They'll probably try and get a third one, but I think I don't want to see the big boys come on. Just Mubama is the only one I want to come on. Mancunian said most of our players outside of back four could net get on a roller coaster. All they need to do is put the ball in the air. Scott says, can we talk about the corner? I'd rather not. I mean, it was... Kevin says, we all asked for this team. We can't complain. Yeah, I'm not complaining, Kevin. I'm not complaining. Greg says Fornals needs to go. Moyes has ruined him. You can tell he doesn't want to be there. That corner summed it up. Steve says Ben Johnson demonstrated why he's not even in the squad. I do think there's a correlation there, though, when you're not getting selected. I do think the way Moyes has handled Ben Johnson has been wrong. It doesn't mean that Ben Johnson's good enough to be playing, but I do think the management of him has contributed to this. Jibster said Aguero's been suspect recently. Gaming said we need a couple of our good players. We can't afford to lose this by any more goals. Marcus said he's a good player, Aguero, but he gets too cute at times. That comes down to coaching. Chris said another big transfer window is needed. Johnson's worst player he's seen in a West Ham shirt. Ben says it would have been 20-1. I'd be shocked if you got 20-1 for Whistler to score a header. I think you got a 6-1 maybe, guessing, but he wouldn't have done it. Gonzo wouldn't bet, but Gonzo only bets on things that's 10,000 to 1. Saying that, if Souček has a shot on target, the bet wins. I'm pretty certain because my bet was Ben Mee and like less than 4 cards. There's been none, so I'm assuming that's going to win, right? So yeah, as long as there's under 4 cards in the game, so we can have 3 cards in the second half, and if Souček has a shot on target in the second half, someone wins 230 quid. So it's all on Thomas Souček, really. Greg says, I reckon Moyes might make a lot of changes at halftime, try and get the draw. At 1-0, I'd get it. But do you know if he does do that for 2-0 down, I think it's a bit optimistic. I don't think we'd get the draw. We could start our first. I'm not even taking the piss. I said it in the preview. We could start our first 11 today. And granted, I didn't know Tony was going to be missing, but I would have still fancied Brentford to beat us. They're just a bloody good team, Brentford. Damien says, I'm not complaining. Glad he's rested players. Some decent performances. Emerson, Cornet, Lanzini. Still think he should start Mabama. Damien, I agree with you. I think some players are playing individually okay. As a team, we're playing rubbish, but I think individually 1 or 2 players are playing okay. Julius says, let's hope Cornet, Lanzini, and Fornals get changed in the taxi as soon as it arrives. It can get straight on the pitch. John says Souček's not a Premier League player. He's better on the ball than him. Gaming said it comes down to coaching. Anyone's saying Moyes should take off. Should stay, need to take off their Stevie Wonder glasses. We can't accept 11 players. Only team for another season with rubbish football. Derek says, what can you expect from players who've been largely ignored this season? Moyes is to blame. The loss will come back to bite us as Leeds and Leicester aren't going to lie down in the last 2. I mean, it's a big ask for them to leapfrog us. If Leicester lose tomorrow, I think we're pretty much safe mathematically. I know Leeds can still overtake us, but they need like a 10-goal difference swing in their favour and to beat Tottenham as well as us, and they need to thump us. They need to beat us like 4-0 or something. Lewis said Emerson thinks that he's a left winger. He was nowhere to be seen for the first goal. That's why Cresswell plays. Not getting involved. I'm staying out of it. Nick says we can't beat any side beginning with BR. Thank God Bradford aren't in the Premier League, or that'll be another 6 points lost every season. Lewis says this is what happens when you don't utilise your squad. How can we expect them to be anything but rusty? Kevin saying everyone turn on Aguero. I don't think they are, Kevin. I think people are just saying he's messed up, and I'm suspicious of him. That's why I wanted him to start against Alkmaar. He had a good game against Alkmaar. He had an iffy game against Alkmaar at times, but I think Bonner's more consistent. I think Aguero's capable of 10 out of 10 performances. Bonner, not so much. But I think Aguero's capable of a 3 out of 10 performance. Ogbonna, not so much. So I think Ogbonna's a safer bet.
I think that's probably true, but I also think like Ogbonna is never asked to play on the right hand side.
That's true.
Like not that excuse.
Yeah, no, that's very fair.
Because Aged has had also some performances that were poor at left centre back.
I was way to say. I would say
certainly not to absolve him of all sin, but like for example, the Crystal Palace game and this game, you can make the argument that both of those past mistakes that he makes are because he's on the wrong side.
Yeah, now, definitely. That's what I've been saying to the chat while you were gone. You know, because I asked Anton Ferdinand about it being a Premier League centre back. I said, does it make a difference? He said, oh, absolutely. He said, even your tackling. He said, usually you tackle with your right foot. All of a sudden, you've got to tackle with your left foot now. Like when you slide tackling, you've got to lead with the opposite foot. He said, you have to think about it almost. So when you're running down your natural side, you don't think, you just do it. But when you switch over to the other centre back position, before you slide tackle, you've almost got to tell yourself to go with the other foot, not to dive in naturally. Otherwise, you're going to wipe the player out and get a yellow card for it. So he was saying it makes a big difference. Said for him, in possession, not so much because he was a really good player on the ball. He said, but for he said certainly for out of possession, it made a huge difference to him switching from left to right and backwards.
Is there anything we can do in this game to come back into it?
No.
Without subbing on?
No. Even subbing them on, Charlie? No.
I mean, I agree with that, but I'm just interested.
No, nothing. Damage limitation. Try and lose 2-0. Honestly, it's just the last thing I want to see is the last half hour. The last thing I want to see at halftime is like Rice and Bowen coming on. What's the point? We're 2-0 down. Just stop it. Just don't do it. We're already 2-0 down by resting them. We'll actually rest them. Do not put them on. Mbama is the only one I want to see in the second half.
That's fair. That's fair. Any
I want to see him on
now? Any last words before you run off, as I can see teams are starting to come up?
Bigger picture. I'm just trying to remember the bigger picture, which is Thursday night. This is preparation for Thursday. It's not gone nice. I would have liked to have seen better performances from certain players, but it's what I expected, and it's all about the bigger picture. You know, Moyes has always been focus on the next game, but finally, for once, he's focusing on the game after next, and I applaud him for that. And I'm not going to criticise him for the team selection. Those players should be doing better than they are in the first half. The attitude should be better, but I don't think it's as straightforward. I do think it's partly because they've been misused this season. But here we are, Charlie.
Fair play, G. Fair play. Well, I'm excited to see his review at full time, which you should stick around for. But until then, we'll be live for the next 45 minutes of football. It's underway. Come on, you eyes. Deploy the boys. Start throwing two things. All that good stuff. We are back underway at the Brentford Community Stadium. No changes at halftime, I believe. I didn't see anyone coming out. But thank you all for joining us. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell notification button so you miss out on future videos, because you're in the West Ham channel last year. Did watch along every single match without fail. We were here. Most consistent you can find. And hey, while you're down there, like the video because it helps us massively. You know, if someone types in West Ham Brentford, it means we come up at the top of search results. And to be fair, we've been absolutely flying today. We're already at 476, so I can't exactly complain. We're playing the house money, 300's the goal. We're at house money stage here, people. So we'll just see where we can get to. But it is 2-0. Brentford have got a throw in on the left-hand side straight away almost, it feels like. Good dive in from Pablo Fornals to stop that one getting any further. It goes back out for a throw. Teams out, no subs. Thank you very much, Paul. Paul coming through the info. I didn't think there were any. It didn't look like there were any. But I needed the confirmation. The Paul provided. The P stands for provides, because my man provides. Yeah, I'd quite like him to be on as well, Damien, to be fair. But we'll see. We'll see. I've still got faith he will come on in this game for quite a while. We'll see what happens, but I've got faith that we're going to see a fair few minutes of him today. Lofted in towards the box from the throw, just a big lob in, looking for that long throw again. They're battling for it. Jesus Christ, it's far from proper. By the way, I know the time I paused. I was trying to get it in line because my thing is skipping around. It's now skipped forward again, which is great. Where it is. No, that's about roughly where it is. I think Moyes will give 15-20 minutes before subs. Yeah, I probably agree, Jeff, to be fair. I probably agree. Cornet battling for it down the left-hand side. Finds Lanzini back to Cornet. That's really nicely done. Lanzini puts it in. Good area. Souček. Oh, good opportunity. Good opportunity. Much better than we have done in the first half. Apparently there was an offside. I think probably Lanzini with the offside, but it was a really nice conversion from the cross. Cornet and Lanzini linking up really nicely. Yeah, he is offside. Lanzini is offside. And then a great ball in with the outside of his right boot. Souček attacking the back stick. Can't quite get his header on target. It was offside anyway, but nicely done. Nicely done. Be nice to see a good half hour of Mbama. Imagine a Mbama brace and draw. Listen, would be a huge thing. I agree though, Max. I'd love to see. I'd take any amount of times, to be honest. I'd take any amount of time. Give me 10 minutes, I'd take it. But I would like more, obviously. Got some Taco Bell. Huge. My lord, I've never had Taco Bell. How is it? I see it a lot, but I've never had it. You know? Well, that's nicely done by Brentford. Ben Johnson battles for it and does really well. Actually, I'd stop that one. To be fair. What as in the street? What as in the one for just Geo's bet? Geo's bet or the bet? Geo's bet or like the Hickey Cox thing? Danny Ings loses out on the ball. Thomas Souček comes barreling back, stops that one from going any further forward. Brentford playing the ball around just outside the area, trying to find their way into the box, and again, just slowing it down and passing it away. Really? Well, congratulations to someone in here who's probably said it. Congratulations. I didn't know. I didn't even know what the bet was. Didn't even know what the bet was. See, even now I'm getting some conflicting messages. I'm getting it bangs. I'm saying it bangs. It's all right till the next morning. I'm getting. I can't click HDU, but HDU saying it bad. But you know, I'd like to try at some point. Could be whipped in from the corner. Could actually they could do it short. To be fair, they've done short corners in the past. They whipped this one in instead. Headed away from Thomas Souček. Cornet does well to rise to that one. Big boot forward. And now they can play the ball forward. Oh, that's nicely done. Oh, Ben Johnson. It was so close. It was almost a really, really nice through ball for Maxwell Cornet. It was just caught a little bit between Ings and Cornet. I think it was probably aimed for Ings, to be fair. A little bit more power on that, and he would have been through. On holiday in Cornwall. I hope you're enjoying your holiday, Stephen. Has it been bad? Yes. Yes. Yes, it has. It has. Big ball over the top, looking for Bemo. Short cross in. Blocked. I'll tell you what, well done by Ben Johnson battling for that one. Interesting pass decision. But also not a bad idea. Thomas Souček with a poor pass. Wissa hits it wide. That was scary. That was scary. The idea from Ben Johnson there to play inwards was quite nice because it means they stop us from sort of hemming us in. And then Thomas Souček sort of, with no other options, tries to pass it backwards to Downs and completely fluffs his lines. Completely fluffs his lines. And Brentford, who already had 3 players around him, managed to nip in, just quick bit of passing and almost makes it happen. Still quite hard. Still quite... Oh. Yes, very hard snow. Lots of snow there. Snowy day. You know? I don't know. I'm going to get home. You know? I'm just going to have to hope it subsides at like 90 minutes specifically. You know? Played forward by West Ham down the left-hand side. Look, we've been better in this first. We've been better in the second half, to be fair, so far. Not flying by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly better. I think we've just made a great interception, right as my Idaho network is gone poorly. But it looks like we made a great interception and could create a sharp opportunity. I wish you could hear what I could hear right now. Okay, we're back. Ings trying to convert a chance roundwards, can't find the pass. Battles through it. Well, we're a throw. Better from us. Much, much better from us. We're still not fit and firing on all cylinders by any stretch of imagination, but definitely better. Listen, there's bells available, Marty. There's bells available, but it's up to the chat. I don't make the decision. We're a democracy around here. This isn't a kingdom, you know. This is a democracy. This isn't I don't know. But the point is that if the chat decide, the chat decide. In good news, it's completely crashed. The thing has gone completely this time. You love to see it. We're now in North Idaho, with full North Idaho TV network territory. Right, we'll take this. We'll just deal with it. Watch this. You ready for this? How bad we've got here. Right, stop the wait. There we go. Right as I click play. Oh. That one's looking big. I'm having a mare. I'm having an absolute mare. This is a double bell situation. Is this a double bell situation? I mean, these are the questions you need to ask yourselves. I mean, save the bells, baby bells to bring Mubama on. Just trying to see if the bells game isn't worth the bell. Save the bell for Thursdays. Bell. There's not been enough backing for Bell yet. There's been some Bell backage, but not enough to back the Bell. You know, not enough to truly call upon it as the future we want and need right now. Can we just forfeit? I mean, we could, to be fair. I mean, we're doing better in the second half than we were in the first. Like, let's be fair. We're doing better in this half than we were doing in the first. That's not to say much. Because realistically, you could do better than you were doing in the first and still be god awful, right? We were crap in the first half. So I'm not waxing lyrical about West Ham right now. But we're doing better than we were. I'm willing to give us that at least. I've lost about a minute in this entire time. Whipped in, header from the back post. In Bemo, the header. Can't quite make it work now. It's in time. Here we go. Bell to the Edgar. Mate, they sung a song about Edgar Allan Poe. Right, the bell's back. The bell's been backed. The bell's been backed. There's been enough bells calls at this point to chat, but I'll be interested to see where the percentages lie. They sung a song about Edgar Allan Poe. You got until 57 on the timer to make your decisions. Is it too soon to bell? Is this a game worth belling? Do you think it's necessary to bell? Do we need the bell? You know, these are the questions you have to ask yourself as you vote in the poll. You have until 57. They sung a song about Edgar Allan Poe. I lost my mind. What an opening to the show. That's all we needed. It was. Do you know what? From a quality standpoint of songs, maybe not the best Eurovision you've ever seen in your life, but there were some good ones in there. And from a show standpoint, look, listen, Declan Rice is getting ready to come on, which is an interesting decision, as is Mubama and Ben Rama. Ben Rama, Rice, and Mubama look like they're about to come on. But yeah, bro, a strong opening as a show goes. Hannah and Graham Norton as hosts, banging. Alicia Dixon there. Juliana, I think her name was. All good. It was a solid show. It does look like we're going to get a triple substitution here. Declan Rice and Syed Ben Rama being risked for some reason. But Mubama does look like he's coming on, which is very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Headed away from West Ham. They get controllable. Save the bells. The Moldovan with the flute. Do you know what I mean? Moldovan with the flute. Finland's entry was great. Finland, Moldova, Austria, Germany just came with a vibe. You know? Mel, mate, it was a good from a show standpoint. I know the song quality might not have been there, but from a show standpoint, it was a good show. Played forward, Brentford on the right hand side. Whistle cuts inside, hits it. I think it blocks. I think it's off his own man, and then wide significantly. I tell you what, I'm really struggling with these streams. I can't lie to you. I'm really struggling with these streams. I'm going to get the doop in a sec. It's going to be great. So my computer goes, no. I mean, my North Idaho television service. Tell you what, let's just spread out this search a little. Back on the one that kept breaking originally. You'll love to see it. Declan Rice is on. Who just right? Because I've skipped forward, I've missed some subs. What were the subs? Obama for Ings makes sense, right? Brentford playing the ball forward, nicely done. Whipped into the box, header wide from Wissa. Half an hour to go. Half an hour to go. Who'd they come on for? Obama, Rice, and Ben Rama did come on, but who'd they come on for? Cornet, Souček off, can't recall the other. Interesting. Interesting. What an opportunity for Obama, by the way. I'm so excited to see him get game time in general. There he is battling for it. I'm trying to see, is Danny Ings there? That looks like Danny Ings. So Danny Ings has stayed on. I think Fornals is off. Cornet, Fornals. Yeah, Fornals. There we go. So Cornet, Souček, and Fornals off. Obama, Rice, and Saeed Benrahma on. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, Ings is definitely still on. I've just seen him. He's still on. I've just seen him. Obama looking to drive the ball forward. Can't quite get there, but I'll tell you what. Danny Ings just herring down. Throw into West Ham, down the right-hand side. Ben Johnson. Obama instantly loses out of the ball to Rico Henry, by the way. He's streaming forward and whips it across, and the head gets the throw. Can we just talk about throw-ins again? I know. If there's one thing I've spoken about too much on these watchlogs, it's throw-ins. But Ben Johnson has the ball, right, to take a throw, and he's holding it. He's sort of looking around, and there's so few options for him. He literally goes, like, what? Like he's like, what am I meant to do? There's no one to throw it to. So he throws it to Obama, who was sort of semi-ready, I guess, who just like instantly loses the ball out to Rico Henry, just pace-wise, who just flies forward. And it was just a bit crap. It was just a bit crap. What can you do? What can you do? Going to be a corner to Brentford, whipped in. Oh, it's scary. The North Island TV looks pissing me off. Oh, sorry. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, Danny Ings is playing in it now. Danny Ings just stood in it now. Just stood directly in that hole. I mean, we're playing a sort of 4-4-2 thing-ish. Lots of 4 doesn't work out for Brentford. It's going to go all the way out for a West Ham. Or goal kick, actually. I don't know, man. It doesn't feel like anything's going to happen, does it? We've been slightly better in this. Look, okay, right. We've been slightly better in this half. Not by much. Nothing to write home about, certainly. I say we've been slightly better, and we have, but like Danny Ings again, herring down. He's got the Robert Snodgrass press. He's full on Robert Snodgrass pressing. I tell you what, we've activated off the back of it. It's not bad from us. They're just significantly better and come flying forward off the back of it. Thankfully, Charlotte just completely runs it out of play. Doesn't Mikel Antonio runs it out of play? We've been better, but we've been it's still not good enough. It's just we've been slightly more competent. Do I see us getting back into this game? No, of course not. Do I see us getting anything from this game? No, of course not. Do I see us scoring? There's an outside chance right now we might score. We're creating enough opportunity. Well, we're not creating enough opportunities, but we're creating. We're beginning to get the ball more advanced, is how I should word it. I'm not going to say we're creating because I don't think we are, but we're at least getting the ball more forward. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Oh, Scott, my G. It's like, call me Colin. Well, first of all, it's just good advice. But how are you? You all right, bro? How's things? Oh, Mbama does well there. Cuts inside. Lays it out wide to Ben Johnson nicely, who shoots. Forces a save. I'll tell you what, that wasn't a bad shot either from Ben Johnson. It was flying in bottom corner. West Ham collect the ball. Emerson just a little bit like a day's call there. Lanzini on the ball. Flynn Downs is calling for it. Declan Rice lays it out wide to Saib and Rama on the left-hand side. Back to Flynn Downs. The chance is sort of dissipated there. But Declan Rice just this is a nitpick. I appreciate, but he sort of pushes his hand out and says, "Go back to Ben Rama." Ben Rama had the ball sort of one-on-one with the Brentford defender. And instead of sort of going at him and taking the ball past him or trying to and getting into a cross position, he goes back to Downs under the instructions of Declan Rice. And we've just sort of slowly passed our way into oblivion at this point. That's certainly not to say that, that's not a bad pass at all. Thankfully, Fabianski comes and collects it. That's not to say that it would have created anything or I trust Ben Rama to create anything. I don't. It's just lacking a little bit of adventure to go, you know? Fair. Yeah, I've got something in my nose. I don't know what it is, but it's causing all kinds of havoc, you know? Causing all kinds of havoc. Ben Rama digs it back across to the back stick. Oh, we scored. We scored. I don't know how. The ball gets digged across to the back post. I think maybe Mbama or someone gets a head onto it. There's a sound. The sound of the post happens. Then somehow the ball comes back out to the right hand side, and it's just sort of digged in towards Danny Ings, who nods it in. It's a goal. Ben Johnson whips it in. It goes all the way over the top to Syed Ben Rama, who puts it onto his stronger foot, dinks it across. Yeah, Mbama can't get his head onto that. His cross actually hits the post. Mbama can't get his head onto it, but it deflects off his shoulder as it bounces back. And I tell you what, a lovely bit of invention by, I think it's Manuel Lanzini, yeah. Just first time putting it back to Danny Ings, who heads it in. Come on, let's go. 2-1, like I said. Do I see us getting back into this game? No, but do I see us scoring? It felt like we were all of a sudden doing something there. It's obviously going to go to VAR. That can't be handball. If that's a handball, then I don't know what to say about the rules of football. Does it hit his hands? Yes. Yes, right. So Mbama might be it might be a handball here. What happens, right, is Mbama goes up for the header, misses it completely because Syed Ben Rama's cross floats over the top of him. It hits the post and then hits off Mbama's hand. The referee's probably going to come across the screen. I'll be honest with you. If that is disallowed, that is madness. Considering some of the handball calls that have happened just in our games in the last 2 months, if this gets disallowed for something that insane, the referee's watching it again and again. It does hit his hand. There's literally no two ways about it. It 1000% hits his hand. But it's not like it gets disallowed. Oh my god. Excuse my French. That's maybe the dumbest fucking thing I've seen in a while. Well, that's so fucking stupid. Considering some of the handball calls that we've had this year, right? What the fuck? How is that a handball? How? It hits his hand, right? So people might see this, right? A Brentford fan might see this, and I should say this to Brentford fans. It hits his hand. It does. I'm not saying it doesn't hit his hand. It so obviously clearly does. It's the inconsistencies that piss me off. After some of the handball calls we've seen this year, especially in our games, where is the inconsistency? That is just not a handball. What's he meant to do? He puts his hands up because he's going for a header. He misses it. The ball bounces off the post and hits his hand from like this close. Bro, if my hand is here and the ball is here and it goes like that, what am I meant to do? Go, oh no. No, he's in the air. What kind of stupid... Oh, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. It's back down to 2-0. Oh, just... You know, honestly, right? I'm not someone... If you like... I don't usually talk about refs and decisions, right? Just because I usually like, whatever. The decision is the decision. You know? It is what it is. For example, the Liverpool handball, the penalty, that didn't happen. It's Liverpool, right? I said that wasn't a penalty. I agreed with the decision at the time. I was like, I don't think that's a penalty, right? That is a mad decision. that's actually just mad. I can't get my head set. It's so fucking stupid. Whatever. It doesn't make a difference, does it? It's 2-0 Brentford. Who gives a shit? Hope you're well, Hope you're well, TDT. How are you, Stu? I hope you're well, bro. Hope you're having a good day. Just who cares? Do you know what I mean? Who actually cares? At this point, whatever, man. Fucking refereeing's mad, isn't it? It just is what it is. You just do whatever. Just make a decision, and then whatever the decision is the decision. The vibe just continues, whatever. Who cares? Anyway. Would have been fun. 20 minutes to go. Stoppage time, I guess. Still 2-0. This is my problem. It's the inconsistency of it all. I don't really care what the rule is, right? I can disagree with the rule or whatever, but I'm not really that fussed. Whatever it is, what it is. But if it's as long as it's consistently applied, that's all I want is consistency. And I understand there will always be some level of variance because obviously it's different people and it's human beings making the decisions, right? So you have two different human beings in two different games, in two different scenarios. Obviously, sometimes they'll make two different decisions. But it's just infuriating when they're so different and there's no consistency whatsoever. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I have a family friend, right? My parents, who used to be a ref, was a ref years ago. Trained to be a ref in football and rugby, and he stopped doing it after a while. And he was like, and he hated it. He absolutely hated it. And I think that's probably partly why I think that's probably why a lot of the time I tend to like not side with the refs, but not shoot at them because whatever it is, what it is. Because I'm like, they are human beings. I mean, he hated almost every referee ever spoke to. So, I mean, I told you a lot, right? But I was like, do you know what? Fine. That's just mad. That's just mad. I mean, Papa, good question. I apologize. It's basically exactly the same. What was thank you. The bell. I completely forgot about the bells. It says yes. It says yes. After about 8 years of it being going for too long, because I completely forgot. It's at 55% yes, 45% no. Do you know what? I'm just going to eat the bell. I'm just going to eat the bell. It's consistently bad. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But yeah, I just The game is going on as it was. We're doing better than we were. I'll carry on talking. We're doing better than we were, but it's not really good enough. Struggled with that. Struggled to get the bell that time. We're doing better than we were in the first half. Certainly, like I said before the goal. Sorry, I remember we got distracted because the stream was going on mad. Realistically, like I said, it felt like we could get a goal in this game, but it doesn't feel like we're going to get two. We're doing a lot better than we were, and since the subs have come on, it's been mostly us. It certainly feels like there's something now. We're going to get a corner again here, but we are just frustratingly. We're still not good enough. And Brentford have dropped off because they don't really have to try it. They're 2-0 up. It's you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Here comes the bell. The poll did pass, 55% yes. So it did pass. There we go. The silence snack, in it goes. Who knows? It inspired the subs, so hopefully it can inspire a goal as well. All gone. All gone. They're just faster than us. They just counterattack better. They're just smarter and faster. Better drilled in that sense. Big hoof up the pitch from Fabianski. Ben Rama loses out. Danny Ings has gone down. He battled for it. He's gone down. He looks in a lot of pain. I feel like he's going to get back up, but he doesn't look comfortable at all right now. Hickey, oof. That was start of the ankle there. Not like a super dangerous one, but a painful one, you know. Deserved to get a goal. Brentford are going to make a double substitution. Oh. It's made, or just smarts more than anything else. Damsgaard and Visser are the two coming off for Brentford. On in their place is Baptiste and De Silva. It's not just pace, man. It's also like realistically, it's not just pace. It's also speed. Like it's like speed of thought and like movement. It's not like pick up the ball and run or like run off the back and speed. It's just like seeing the opportunities and moving around that, right? Like netball style. Whoever has the ball, other people moving around them. That's the annoying thing is that's not a limitation of speed. It's a limitation of like vibes, you know. Clinton Baptiste. I'm getting the words. Excellent reference, Ross. And a wonderful man. A wonderful man. Do I have to say that because I've been paid by him? Yes, but I would actually just say that regardless. He's an incredibly nice person. But at the same time, I'm getting the words. You know? Invest in pace. Do I sound like Gonzo? I mean, he does love a bit of pace, but that's the thing. It's just they're just better than us. That's what I'm trying to say, right? It's like there are limited. You don't have to have like fast players to move fast. You know, like Jared Bowen is now coming on, apparently. You can move around, and that's the movement is the thing that's different, right? It's their pace, right? Don't get me wrong, they have someone like Rico Henry who's very, very quick, right? But it's not necessarily Rico Henry sprinting past him or on the ball that's the problem. It's the thought. It's they have the ball and then someone makes a run around them and we're not picking up on that. We don't do those things fast enough. We don't commit the players in the same way, you know? That's the difference, really. Ben Rama looking to try and play the ball forward. It's a good opportunity to profit off their poorness, and Ben Rama. It does side Ben Rama things. Gets into a really good position and then decides to hit an awful shot directly at the goalkeeper. You love to see it. But yeah. Clinton's a lovely man. Alex Lowe is a lovely man. Is that anything to do with Clinton? No. It's just Alex Lowe, isn't it? Do you know what I like about this stream? I can't even watch it all the time. Yeah, of course he does. Whether or not it happens, Stu, is a different question, right? Like you say, we have to wait until... There's no point even having conversations with it, in my opinion, until after the season, because literally so many things could happen between now and the end of the season. We could win a European trophy. We could go out awfully in the second half of a second leg of a semi-final, right? There's so many different things that could happen between now and the end of the season that it's almost not worth talking about. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll figure it out in the summer. My gut says he'll stay, but honestly, who knows at this point? Decided to move away. Oh, Josh, thank you very much for the 79, the full-time font. Josh, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much, sir. It's very kind of you indeed. You did not need to do that whatsoever. Nothing's just working. Literally nothing is working right now. I cannot see a single thing. There we go. Okay, we have something. It's almost a minute behind. But you can see something. That's Man City versus Everton. You love to see it. Good result for us, really. That's the Brentford West Ham score, but 13 minutes into the match. We'll just go with this one. Right, where's that? Where is it? Brentford passing the ball around with no real pressure, no real anything, if we're being honest about it. There's no stress in this game match for them. Joshua, thank you very much, my friend. Yeah, they're just sort of playing it around. There's no real point, is there? If we're being honest. At this point, there's no stress whatsoever at all. They're playing it. The worst thing is they're passing it around very dangerously as well, and yet we've just sort of not got anything at all in our locker to really stop this from happening. That vibe of us potentially getting a goal has sort of dissipated now for us. Damien, thank you very much for the £1. It's the full-time fund. It's very kind of you, sir. As I always say, you don't need to do it at all. It's very, very kind. Every little helps. So I'm not complaining, but please, no one has to. Thank you, though. It's just a bit like, you know, just is what it is. Just is what it is. Why is this in such a weird state up here then? Huh? Did that work? I mean, it stopped it, so a backspace has stopped it, so I'm not going to complain. Yeah, it just that moment where it felt like we were probably more, where it felt like we could score, and I was like, oh, we might get a goal here. We're not going to get back into it. We might get a goal. That's gone now. That's fully just gone. Brentford are going to make another sub. I can't see us getting another goal at this point. Nathan Moyes is screaming at whoever it is to come off for Jared Bowen faster. Brentford are also making a sub, although he seems to be putting a bid back on, so who knows? Danny Ings, the one who's coming off for Jared Bowen, which is, I would suspect. It's just, that makes sense. Bowen instantly comes and gives Mubama some instructions. You love to see it. Then Rama does well. Let's take it past one. The second touch was maybe unnecessary. I think he should maybe flicked it in, but still, it's going to be a corner again. We're in another corner. I'm probably going to edit. I've got a triple jump video to edit, so I'll probably just get on top of that. Finish that. Well, get at least far into it rather than finish it. So I'll probably get that done. Don't know. I've been saying I would try to watch Andor. Will I? It's unlikely, but I might try. Declan Rice collectible. Plays out. What about you? £2, Dave. Thank you very much. That's Steve Punch Drunk Gaming with a £2. Thank you very much. Roll on Thursday. Exactly. I can't wait for it. And also flipping it. Brian Clark with $3.99 super sticker again. Brian, thank you very much. You lot, please. Thank you very much. It's very kind of all of you. It's very kind of all of you. It helps the channel out massively. I cannot stress enough how much it helps the channel out. So thank you. It's very kind of you. As I say, just don't feel obliged. All gets played back. Brian, Dave, thank you. And also Damien, I don't think you brought up again, but thank you. Gets paid for, just cut out a little bit. Yeah, just a sort of nothing-y game at this point, isn't it? There's no point. I mean, most of the game's been just sort of whatever, but now it feels a bit whatever. Brentford's first sub, Hickey comes off. Alongside Sharda, they're both going off. They're both going off, and on in their places Godos and I'm trying to see who the other person was. Oh, it's Roslev. Okay. Roslev and Godos on for Hickey and whoever the last person I said was, because it's gone from my head instantaneously. Hold on, I want Domino's list. I get pizza. Give me pizza, spell it out for me, honey. Yeah, if I had pizza earlier, maybe we would have won, but I want pizza. Oh, they're coming in again here. Brentford knocking on the door. Hit straight into the hands of Fabianski. Thankfully, not a great shot from Mbemo at the end of it, but they create it. Andor is open good. Yeah, this was. I was talking to Jack Elderton, Analytics United, about it the other night. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I was talking to Jack Elderton from Analytics United about it the other night, and he is a massive. He was like, Charlie, you need to get on this. You need to get on this. So that's what's made me think about it recently, and I've heard from many people that it's very good. Damien, with another 495, another 149. Thank you very much, sir. Very good. Twice. You did not need to do this at all. Thank you. Oh, true Cockney is stressing. Right. Okay, so on for West Ham are Bowen, Mubama, Rice, Benrahma. They've all come on for so Rice, Bowen, Benrahma, Mubama have come on for Souček, for Ings, someone. Brentford ones, I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows? Could be anyone. I got nothing. I heard Madman, his name is Kid Charlie. Scott, I've told him to. Now, whether or not it happens or not is a different question. I say told. I suggested it politely, given the fact that either way, whether or not it's a boy or a girl, Charlie Works as a name, so I'm just saying. But at the same time, you know, Defo don't. Don't saddle it with my bird. Don't saddle it with my bird. 2 more minutes to go. Hit from range, the flex off Naya Forget. Pick up the ball again. Onyeka can't quite get there. Onyeka's come on, apparently. Fabianski collects the ball. I quite liked She-Hulk, to be fair. I thought She-Hulk was quite good. Like, there were some episodes that were better than others, but I quite, as a whole, I thought I thought there was some good stuff in there. But then again, Tatiana's an absolute G after Orphan Black, so I'd back anything she did after that, to be fair, because Orphan Black's great. Playing it around at the moment, Brentford comfortably inside their own half. Just honestly, it's just quite bad how much they're so easily playing it through us. It's quite bad. Hooked forward, Lanzini leaves it. Bowen also leaves it. Brentford hit it forward. I don't know. It's just sort of. Yes, there is 1 month. But do you see the trailer, Unkind? The trailer of what's his face from Breaking Bad? Well, both of them from Breaking Bad rock up in the trailer. I was like, what? Excuse me? Bang. Can't wait. And Rama wide on the left hand side, looking to try and play the ball in. Digs it in, easy save into the hands of straight to the hands of Rhea. 5 minutes of added time. Wild. Also about She-Hulk, what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. The one who plays what is his name? It's the Abomination, is that his name? But I can't remember the actor. But he banged in that show. That was a banging performance. From Malcolm in the Middle, yes. Yeah, bro, the very same. Tim Roth, yes. Thank you. Tim Roth was sick in that show. Tim Roth pulled that out of the bag, man. Tim Ross, yes. He was great in that. Brentford have, I think it's Rico Henry down for cramp. Who scored the disallowed goal? Danny Ings. Danny Ings scored the disallowed goal, Jose. Disallowed for a Mubama handball, but it was Danny Ings who converted. Unfortunately. Maybe. I'm convinced we're safe, but maybe. But I also think if we put out a different side, then Brentford might have played this game differently. I don't think there's been a lot in this game in terms of performance levels, if we're being honest about it. I think you're looking at two sides who are just sort of there. Like, they are much better than us. They're just better than us, right? So they work harder, they work faster. The worst thing is, I almost put money on that. I almost convinced myself that it was a thing to do, Geo, and I went, nah, hate my life. Geo Mackie there, everyone. Just annoying me. But yeah, I feel like it's been two teams who are just sort of done, right? If we'd put out our first team without Thursday on our minds, let's just say we had a week until the next game and we were like, okay, let's put our first team in out here. You could argue that Brentford could have stepped up levels. I think this is two teams who are far off their best. I think we're nowhere near our best. We're not even near our average. This has just been a poor performance from us. but they are also not near their best. They're also several rungs below it. And I think if we'd stepped up, they could have potentially stepped up as well, if we're being honest. Again, it's a definite foul, but Onyeka does really well there. Does really well. Leaves it forward to De Silva, takes it forward slightly. They could try and cross the ball in. Positioning is just so bad. They're just standing still in bad positions. I was looking at it there. I was just looking at the ball on the right-hand side for Brentford, and they were looking for an opportunity to cross, and I was standing. Every single one of our players was stood perfectly still, and I was just watching them stand in awful positions, being like, is someone... Oh, header! Oh, bloody hell. It was almost 3. And they were just in such awful positions. Downs, shoulder to shoulder. I think it's a goal kick. I don't think that one was a pen. Referee says no. I don't think that was a pen either, to be fair. No pen. VAR check, but complete no pen. It just did look 50-50 to me. It's bad from Downs, don't get me wrong, Mario. Shout out indeed, you know? Like, I don't know why we tend to use our third kit more than we use our second kit. It sort of brings a mockery to the entire situation, especially when our away kit here is pretty... It's not too bad. I quite like this compared to the third kit, which, you know... but yeah, you know, big ups. Big ups. We've got 30 seconds left of this game. We don't care. They don't care. This is done. This is just fully done. Yeah, probably. You're not probably wrong for it, to be fair. Pritam, I think you're probably right with that. I mean, the one before that, like I said, Gio, I think my one negative is that I don't think our performance level has been good enough. I would have wanted a better performance out of the team, regardless. But you're not wrong at all. You're not wrong at all. I would have wanted us to have stepped up a little bit more and shown that we weren't just going to roll over completely, but we did just get rolled over completely. It's going to be a corner, last kick of the game. Emerson to take. Whips it in. It's not a bad cross, but it's headed away by Brentford. Benrahma. Still Benrahma. Still Benrahma. Oh, he's laid it past back to Emerson. Oh, you'd love to see it. He tries to take on his man, beats him. It's going to be a throw into Brentford. And that is it. 4-time I saw Brentford 2, West Ham United now. Frankly, I'm glad it's over. I can't lie. Not to be too negative about it, but I'm glad it's over. I can't, just whatever. You know, it just is what it is. I couldn't be, I can't, just whatever. It just is what it is. 2-0. Look, as someone said, I can't remember who it was who just said that, but I think you're probably correct. If you said to people before the game, 2-0 loss, none of your Europa League people get injured. You got a Conference League on Thursday, blah 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 blah. You're probably right. I'm disheartened by the performance. It was pretty crap, but ultimately, it literally doesn't make a lick of difference to our season. What happens in this game? So. It is what it is. Thursday is the big one, of which we will be back for, of course. So make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on it, because we're the only West Ham channel last year. We did a watch along every single game without fail. We were here and we will be here on Thursday evening. So make sure to come back and join us for that, because we'll have the full slate of shows build up an hour, 5 minutes before watch along review. But before all that, we have, of course, today's review. Geo Mackie shall be live in just a moment with Gonzo. So make sure to stick around for that. Before I go, one last thank you to Damien, to Brian, to Dave, Asadi Punch Drunk Gaming, back to Damien, Joshua, the Oxby, and Just Matt for their donations into the full-time fund. Much, much, much appreciated. It helps us out massively. But so does just liking the video and stuff like that. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We will be back on Thursday, but make sure to stick around for the review in the meantime. See you later, everyone. Come on, you irons. Enjoy yourselves. See ya. Bye.